Good morning, everybody. It's 7 a.m. on Monday, August 23rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 97. Coming up on OTB, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU Football Director of Player Innovation Jack Mariucci joins us at 8:30, and Matt Hayes of the Jaguars Radio Network joins the show at 9 a.m. Jaguars and Saints inside of the Superdome tonight. We also had the latest edition of Weekend Winners coming up at 8 a.m. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on Cox Sports Television. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome in Monday OTB. That's right, here in the Mercedes-Benz studio. Hope you had an excellent weekend. We'll get to it all, what happened over the weekend, what will happen tonight. And here we sit on this Monday, August 23rd, 2021. Week 0 of college football is upon us. That's right. Week 0 is here. There will be games this weekend. If you're an LSU fan, you can even watch the team you'll be playing next week and play this weekend. They'll be playing Hawaii. So if you want to do a little beer in hand scouting, right? Drinking and watching the game and convincing yourself that you're logging and noticing very valuable information that'll come into play next weekend. All of that is here for you. What an exciting week it is. It's also a Saints game day today. I mean, just a ton to get to.
Week 0. Matchup you're looking forward to the most? Hawaii, UCLA,
Hawaii,
Illinois,
UCLA.
Nebraska. What was the other one, Mario? Forgot already. Exactly. But it's football.
Liberty versus SMU.
Isn't Alcorn State where game day is?
It's not really.
That'd be good.
versus
That'd be a
SMU.
pretty good
It'd be
game.
good.
Like, put the ball around.
Yeah.
A lot of passing yards.
It doesn't matter for our
football.
listeners. Yes, it's football, but also, I mean, it's all about UCLA, Hawaii. Exactly. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some headlines.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys, for those who are born to grill. Visit bbqguys.com to learn more.
LSU football had their final preseason game, or scrimmage, over the weekend this Saturday. Jake, you were there?
I was there.
Okay, there we go. Time flies already. Camp is over and game prep now begins. That's what we'll talk to Marucci about coming up later, is the science behind now maybe dialing it back a bit, getting that body ready to be in peak condition a week from Saturday. Jake, we will talk about this scrimmage in depth coming up at 7:15. But anything you want to whet the appetite with today?
Yeah,
right now.
I put a tweet out there. Malik Neighbors, not a
Big day.
guy that we've talked about as much as some of the other receivers. He's special.
Yeah. And he's named. The receiver thing still is kind of crazy. I don't know that we have a great view of.
There's gonna be like 8 or 9 that play.
Yeah.
No, I mean, trust me,
wild.
There's gonna be 8 or 9 that play.
Eventually, during the season, some will start to rise and separate,
right.
but everybody's acquitted themselves pretty well here in the pre-season. In LSU soccer news, the women moved to a dominant 2-0, beating Sam Houston 8-0 to stack them goals. Just reinforces how big Thursday night season opener was as well, right? At that time, you're flirting with a tie or a loss. You found a way to win, and now a far cry from last year's, what was it, like a 1-8 start, I believe. Now 2-0, a dominant 2-0 to start the season.
Continue the heater that they had last spring. You're exactly right. Some special goals too, man. Some Sports Center top 10
some
type
quality
goals.
finishes, don't they?
Oh, there you go. How'd Wolves do this weekend?
It was. I don't want to talk about it. I know it was really rough.
They lost 1-0.
Yeah, exactly.
2.
Heartbreaking. To Spurs.
There you go.
Come on, keep up, dude. And Saints, yes, got him. And Saints preseason. That's right, Saints preseason tonight, 7 p.m. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New Orleans Saints. Tamus watch continues. Trevor Lawrence coming to town, the number 1 overall pick in the NFL. How about this? So Peter King, who I've always really enjoyed. I can't say that I read all his columns because it would take like an hour each. But Peter King talked to Sean Payton for 45 minutes. And it is King's opinion that tonight's game means a ton about who will win this starting job, given the fact that Sean Payton says he wants to have a starter named before Saturday's game against Arizona. And obviously Taysom getting the first snaps last time, Jameis getting the first snaps this game. A lot riding on tonight's Saints game.
How long do you think we'll see each of them? At least, I mean, it feels like a significant amount of time. If you're going to make your decision kind of after this game.
Gotta be.
I mean, they might be the only 2 quarterbacks that play. I mean, you might get Ian Book with
I still think
4
series. I still think they like Book.
No, you can still like him, but you're trying to name a starter.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking you give Jameis. I mean, how'd they do it last time? What was it, basically the first and second quarter and then Book the rest of the way? Mm-hmm. Do you think you extend past that?
I think so.
Okay.
I think they play into the second half.
Yeah.
One of them at least.
Maybe you give Jameis a full first half. If you're secretly already leaning Jameis anyway. And you
if that's where you're leaning,
like
I'd give whoever I'm leaning to for sure, like a full first half. Let's see what you can do.
And remember,
third quarter.
For anybody's out there, it's like, well, Jameis is starting, right? That means something. This is all planned from the beginning. Taysom got to start game 1. Jameis gets to start this game, so don't read too much into that detail. But, yeah, we'll talk more about the Saints preseason game coming up at 7 p.m. Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss were at the AVP Manhattan Beach, or wasn't the Manhattan Beach, excuse me. Yes, it was the Manhattan Beach tournament over the weekend. And unfortunately, the same Olympians as they vanquished in the first AVP Gold tournament got some revenge as Clayson Sponsel ended up beating Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss. Insanity in terms of the actual match itself, 39-37 in the first set. And if you're out there listening, you could probably appreciate this. So, like how most of us play ping pong, although I don't know if this is correct, it's the 21 and you got to win by 2, right?
Yeah, unless you're Ted Bundy, that's how you play it.
Think about all the, do you do like the 5 serves each person? Yeah, see that? I don't think that's actually Olympian, is it?
I don't know if
I think
it's Olympian.
Like 2 serves or something, maybe.
It's on the table.
I agree.
At the house.
Even if it's not the official rules, that is somehow the pop culture rules that have emanated throughout our entire country. Either way, the point is, we've all been in a battle where it's been like 20-20, right? And you keep going tit for tat, advantage for advantage. And maybe it gets up to like 27-26 in the craziest ones. This thing went all the way to 39-37. The longest single set in the history of the AVP Tour. So, even when they're losing, Cloth and Nuss continue to break records. Clayson Sponsor will go on to take the second set, 21-15, before eventually falling in the finals to the Tokyo gold medalists, the Americans April Ross and Alex Kleinman. So congratulations to them. Don't worry, TKN, I got my sweater ordered. It'll be in soon. They're going to continue to dominate, and they still have the AVP in Chicago, I believe, the final AVP gold tournament of the summer coming up in Chicago, the big boy. In LSU basketball news, Will Wade continues to strengthen this LSU basketball team as Justice Williams, a 4-star 6'3" combo guard from the dominant national champions Mount Verde Academy in Florida, has reclassified into the 21-22 cycle and is allowed to start attending classes today and will play in this upcoming season.
Another big get for LSU this year to strengthen this team, and you start to put all the pieces together. You start talking about all the transfers that they got in, all the guys that they signed in this class, and getting Darius Days back. I don't think it's crazy to say this. I mean, this team is set up for a deep run in the NCAA tournament. Just right now, where they're at with the mixture of veterans and young players, we already know what they've done in the SEC. They'll probably be disrespected like they typically are within the SEC as far as where everyone has them in the pecking order. I wouldn't sleep on this team.
Winning his team in the SEC over the last 3 years. You know what? I can't wait. Can't wait for the season. In Miguel Cabrera news, he becomes the 28th member of the 500 home run club, the first player to meet that mark in a Detroit Tiger uniform. And how about some other fun Miguel Cabrera stats as we just celebrate what a career. 311 career hitter. He's won 4 batting titles. Of course, he won the Triple Crown. He won back-to-back MVPs. And next season, he will likely become only the 6th player in the 500 home runs, 3,000 hit clubs, and he will likely join Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Albert Pujols, Eddie Murray, A-Rod, and Rafael Palmeiro.
I mean, I'm sure that.
How about Palmeiro? I didn't realize that.
Well, we got another conversation. I'm sure if you're listening to the show, you've heard the promo where Greeny's like, we're not talking about this. There's a time when this would lead all shows, and he's exactly right. Like, this is kind of like a throw-in for the weekend. I mean, Mickey hit 500 career home runs. He has over 300 batting average. He's going to get to that, just very elusive club of having 3,000 hits and 500 home runs. And I just feel like it's a nice little weekend story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because there was a time when this would literally lead almost every show, regional, local, nationwide. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it just kind of tells you, I think, a little bit of where baseball's at right now. And I love baseball. Y'all know that.
So I think I read that 28 players in that 500 home run club, and he is, I think, 5th in career batting average. Only 9 of those guys actually have a career average over 300. And if you take it to adjusted batting average, which I don't understand exactly how that works, he's only behind Ted Williams and Babe Ruth. So, yeah, I mean, you're not just talking about someone entering the 500 club. You're talking about a legitimate, top 10 hitter of all time in baseball history.
Yeah.
And yet, like you said, just kind of thrown in as a little garnish at the end of headline. It is what it is. And because it's football season, so who cares, Miggy? Sorry. So coming up next, we're going to talk LSU final preseason game, the final tune-up for the boys. Jacob was in Death Valley this weekend. What do you see? What stood out? What do we need to see over the next couple of weeks? Keep it all locked right here on OTB.
If you were born to grill, you have to go to Barbecue Guys for all your grilling and outdoor living needs. With the largest selection of top grills and outdoor products and best-in-class customer service, Barbecue Guys has it all. Visit bbqguys.com. That's bbqguys.com. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Do y'all smell fast food breakfast? Am I crazy? I think I'm smelling it through the vents, the AC vents. If you're smelling something funny through your AC vents, you just want to get them checked out, see what's going on, go to accutempbr.com, accutempbr.com for your AC, heating, and electrical needs. You will never be treated in the way that Accutemp will treat you. The customer experience is unreal. The workplace culture is unreal, and really that's where it starts. So look, if you're looking for a change of job, maybe you want to change a career, Accutemp's always there for you. The apprenticeship program can get you up to speed in just a couple of months. The bottom line, AC, heating, electrical, you want to go to accutempbr.com.
Yeah, and you have to have it working right now. Look, y'all were here this weekend. Y'all felt the sun leaning on you. You have to have it working at its peak performance. That AC cannot go out. And if you're part of the program, they come out, they make sure that it is working at its peak condition, right? They service it. They come out, and it's going to be working. You don't have to worry about it. Check them out, accutempbr.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Join us for a Monday edition of Early Line as we recap the Saints' second preseason game against the Jaguars, discuss LSU's latest scrimmage inside of Tiger Stadium, and recap the rest of our picks from the NFL preseason. Tune in 2 to 3 p.m., 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome in, OTB. For those wondering, this is not a Zach Strief jersey. This is a Will Clapp jersey. Former OTB intern, still holding it down with the New Orleans Saints. By the way, he had a great preseason game one.
He did.
Played both guard positions, played center as well. So continue to make himself into that swing tackle. A fellow Brother Martin alum. I guess we tend to just use you guys or something for one reason or another. But yeah, this is a Clapp jersey. Very rare, and you should all be very jealous because it's the literal perfect preseason jersey to wear, because who is featured more than kind of a fringe roster O-lineman in a preseason game? Okay, no one. That's who. Jake, speaking of preseason games, you were at the final, what they're calling the final LSU preseason game over the weekend. A million different ways we could start. Where do you think what was the biggest thing that you want to get out there?
Let me give you my tweet that I put out there, and you tell me where you want to start.
Okay.
All right, so my notes, and I had a couple of them. I think I had 6 total. My first one is Malik Neighbors is that guy.
Mm-hmm.
My second is don't sleep on Josh Williams at running back.
Mm-hmm.
DBU has its swagger back was my third. Cade York has a bionic leg. That's kind of like a given.
Yeah, we know that.
Edge rushers were everywhere, and Devontae Lee had an absolute day.
Okay, let's start with this one. Let's start with edge rushers are everywhere simply because it is the classic camp paradox. We are simultaneously very excited about the guys coming off the edge while a bit scared of who is protecting the edge on the offensive side of the ball for LSU. Obviously, O-line was kind of where the spotlight was going into the weekend. How did the one O-line perform against that very good one defensive line? Why did you say edge rushers are everywhere?
Well, Andre Anthony obviously has had a fantastic camp.
Yeah.
Ali Gaze had a fantastic camp.
Yeah.
Xavier Carter flashed for me a couple of different times. Right, he's playing stack linebacker in the spring, then moving to his more natural end position. But also, the offensive line was missing some bodies. You were missing 2 starters. You were missing both guards. So you didn't have Chasen Hines and you didn't have Ed Ingram. So you're missing 2 guards there.
Who's playing guards behind him?
Let's see.
Anthony Bradford and was it Marlon Martinez or Xavier Hill?
No, Bradford. I believe Bradford had a yellow on as well.
Dellinger had a yellow on as well.
Xavier Hill, I know, played left guard.
Oh, wow. How many bodies did you have? Did you have enough to make up 2 O-lines? Yeah.
By the hair on your chinny chin chin.
Oof, wow.
So you had some bodies out. So it's tough to grade the offensive line.
What about the tackles,
because
though?
you're talking about they look. I thought the edge rushers, the first 2 series, first and second team D, got after the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Coach O challenged the offensive line, and they went down there and they scored, both of them, first and second unit.
All right.
Right? And it was long drives. It wasn't just a one hitter. So it was some back and forth. The edge rushers flashed to me because even when they didn't get home, they were close. Right?
Yeah.
They had some great rushes, and it was really, you kept rotating some different bodies in there. B.J. Ojolari had a couple of nice rushes. He looks a little bit different. I mean, he looks like a completely different body type.
Yeah, he's way bigger
than he did his freshman season. So, and also Mason Smith. Mason Smith, I know he's not an edge rusher. He was in a gold jersey, but he was out there.
He's a starter, I think. I mean, do they have him running with the ones?
There's a couple of times where he was dominant, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of times he was dominant. So this defensive line is a strength. It might be receiver and defensive line. You're fighting for maybe the bigger strength in the team.
All right, let's go here next. You mentioned Josh Williams at running back. To me, I can't help. I mean, we know that there was no Emery, there was no TDP. That feels like a function of just the availability issue. But you think there might be more there, since it sounds like I am sleeping with Josh Williams. Josh Williams.
I think a lot of people are. Now, the freshman had a couple of nice runs. You can tell there's some things that they're going to continue to learn. Like Corey Kiner had a moment on the sideline where he tried to leap over a defender, and he leaped over the first one, but
he did that. He did that last scrimmage.
And the second one got him, and it's kind of like you want to go get in his ear. And Kevin did, and Kevin Falk went over there and got in his ear. It's like, hey, in the field, that's great, but also, like, you're a big dude. Like, put your shoulder down, get you some extra yards.
Oh.
And so the next time,
I too always had to avoid the temptation to leap over.
Yeah,
guys.
I get it. I get it.
Us athletes, it just
so
comes
he catches
naturally.
one on the sideline, and the defender's getting ready for the leap, and he absolutely puts a move on him and just leaves him in the dust.
Okay.
So he learned from that mistake. That was good to see. But Josh Williams had 2 really nice runs against the one defense. I'm talking about a 25-plus yard touchdown where he was almost untouched. He had a 17-yard run right in the middle there, moving the ball, middle of the field, almost untouched. So he's seeing the holes. He's got the vision that you're looking for in that running back. And, again, I don't care if you were 5 stars, 4 stars, no stars, walk on the earned. I don't care. It's all about production.
Yeah.
And he was producing out there. He is going to be in the rotation at running back. Make no mistake about it. He will be in the rotation. And sometimes when you start at the bottom like he did as a walk-on, you've got to prove it 3 times over from what the other guys have to prove it. And on Saturday, he just kept doing it. Like, he just kept proving it over and over again. He's going to be in the rotation. I don't know who's going to be the starter. I don't know who's going to split the carries, how many each running back's going to get. But look, if you're not on the field and you're not scrimmaging and practicing, it's going to open up the doors for more people like Josh Williams, and he took full advantage of it.
Yeah, so disappointed to hear no TDP, no Emery in there. How about this? So it sounds like, look, we've entered with a lot of questions. We've had some answered more satisfactorily than others. If there's one position group, though, where the questions have still just kind of remained, and I don't know that we have any super concrete answers, we have inklings. It is at linebacker. Did anybody stand out to you in that regard? I'm talking about interior linebacker. Your 2 interior linebackers that you will have on the field in your 4-2-5 base package this year.
Damone, Jared Small, and Baskerville probably got the most run, I think, with the ones. I think it's going to be another position where situational type, hey, first and second down, third down, whatever it might be. Damone seems like the one that's going to be in there the most often, and that position didn't stand out to me as a weakness. So that to me is a positive compared to where you were a year ago.
Any Stingley or Rick sighting? As you said, the DBU got its swagger back.
Yeah, so Sting didn't scrimmage, but obviously he's on the sideline with the guys, with the fellas. When I said that, I was talking about Jay Ward and Major Burns.
Okay.
And you have a couple of other guys, and Darren Evans, who transferred from Nichols a year ago, like he played 3 days after getting the LSU because he had to. He's someone that you can see has gotten used to the speed of what he's going against compared to where he was, where last time we saw him, he just he wasn't. But I'm more talking about the safeties. Jay Ward and Major Burns, they're out there. They're letting you know they're out there.
Mm-hmm.
They continue to make play after play. And even Evans. Evans, they tried him 3 times. They tried him 3 times in the red area on fade routes, and he shut him down every time. All
Speaks
3.
to good
He had really nice coverage there. So you can just
McLaughlin
tell.
wasn't out there either, I'm guessing?
Okay. So
Okay.
you can just tell just by the way they acted on the field, by the way they were chirping with the offense. I mean, these safeties, and I think you're probably looking at your 2 starters. Now, Todd made a couple of nice plays, but Major Burns and Jay Ward stood out to me.
All right, so it's kind of the breaking down some of that final preseason game.
Oh, also, real quick, in the chat, what about Pig Cage? Pig laid the wood on the running back. I forget which one it was. My man coming over, he's also coming over from Nichols. Great name. I mean, it's real close to Nick Cage. Y'all know that's near and dear to my heart.
Okay, well, do you even realize?
And he's got a movie named Pig out right now.
The connective tissue that you just stumbled upon.
Yeah, of course. I'm a Nick Cage fan. I know he's got a movie Pig.
Well, did you watch Pig this weekend?
I have not.
Because I did, and it is, like, unironically fantastic.
Of course it is.
It's well, look, some Nick Cages are a little more ironic in their enjoyment, right? Like sometimes the so good it's bad. I mean, definitely you think about Con Air and put the bonnet down and everything. I mean, like, yeah, no, this is a legitimate, to me, beautiful, very creative, very moving movie over this weekend. I can't recommend Pig enough. It is. There's a reason why it has like a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever, and I think it's actually it carries that banner quite well. It's just an absolute banger. So great to hear that Pig Cage also having some success over the weekend.
Yeah, he did. Kind of for me.
Who's Pig Cage?
Plays DB.
This is not all a joke. There's an actual player called Pig Cage.
Yeah, he plays DB. He's a transfer over from Nichols, worth number 38.
What are the chances, dude?
Yeah. You didn't. His real name's Quentin Cage, but he goes by Pig Cage.
Hell yeah.
I like Pig Cage a lot.
Yeah, you should watch Pig. All right, we'll talk quarterbacks when we get back. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com, DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com, DGBAuto.com works as well. And remember, you get in an accident, the police cannot tell you who gets to tow. The insurance company can't tell you where to go. The answer to both. Donaldsville Glass and Body. Why? Because first off, they have the best shop, the best body shop in the state. I'll put that on anything. But mainly, they're not trying to maximize profit, okay? They're trying to maximize customer satisfaction. They're trying to get you back on the road safely and affordably. Go to DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com today.
You're exactly right, T. And also, you can pick up the phone and you can give them a call. Like you got a question, 225-473-6495. You got something going on with the vehicle. We always say it doesn't matter how big, how small, they can fix it all, right? And they can fix it all with the best customer service. They are set up for success. They specialize in every single area. So whatever you've got, it's going to a specialist in that area, not just your one shop that does everything like right there in the middle. They got specialists for everything over at DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit GarciaDidMyRoof.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR. Presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap LSU's second scrimmage, and it's game day. Monday Night Football. We're previewing Saints, Jags. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. If you got any questions for Jake, you can go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll maybe get to some of them a bit later. Anything you want to hear from the scrimmage. Here's what probably everybody wanted us to start, but I've just been kind of teasing it out a bit. And that is the quarterback play, okay? Because for the second scrimmage in a row, Jake, they release numbers that make it look like the second team offense was drastically. Well, it's weird because when I went, the second team offense was actually drastically better. But the numbers make it look like Garrett Nussmeier is outperforming Max Johnson and should be pushing for the starting job. What is your view of what you witnessed on Saturday under center?
No, Max is your starter. Max is extremely polished, and those stats, as you know, I think anybody that's ever been out to a scrimmage that doesn't tell the full story. It's situational as well. So maybe you're in the red area, and maybe one quarterback threw a fade that got called, the other one got dropped, right? And that's a touchdown. They count that as a touchdown, even though you started on the 25. And do not get me wrong. Nussmeier had some plays.
He did, dude. He did when I was out there too. He's a little. Yeah. I see why they call him Baby Baker.
I completely get it too, and he's someone that's going to be at some point the starting quarterback for LSU. It's just
you think so?
At some point, yeah.
I just think it's interesting. Because obviously this is how good the quarterback pipeline is.
Yeah, I know.
Side note,
but I've seen him. I haven't.
Walker
I know,
come in.
And Walker's a stud. He's the #1 quarterback in the country.
He was hanging out with Dustin Poirier this weekend. You see
the
that?
diamond. I saw it.
That's big time, dude.
I saw it. But look, Max right now is a starter for a reason, and Garrett Nussmeier is different than Max, right? But you can tell Max when it was move the ball, right? When they started, backed up, back against the wall, it was 1-on-1s. He led them all the way down the field. You can just tell there's not a moment that's too big for him. Now, I love the fact that Garrett Nussmeier is ready to play. If he had to go play, if Max got hurt, I think Garrett's got the mentality to go out there and play. And he's the complete gunslinger that you hear, right? He is not afraid to throw it into any window. That's good or bad, whatever it might be.
Yeah, he's chaotic. He's chaotic energy.
And he did play well. There was a busted coverage on one. You had Besh in the slot. Besh did a really nice job of pushing the safety. The linebacker didn't get there in time. The coverage was late. Besh goes up the seam for a 40-yard touchdown. It was a really nice play. There were some of those things. But the thing I loved about Max is when he had to, when it was like, hey, this is ones-on-ones. This is a true drive. This isn't situational. It's not if you go 3 and out. No, we're going to reset the ball and you're going to get another chance. It's like, no, this is it. He drove him right down the field, almost full length of the field, and hit Malik Neighbors, I believe was, over the middle for a nice touchdown pass. So I thought both quarterbacks made their plays when they had time, right? And also some of the things that you talked about last week's scrimmage. There was a couple times that Max probably got touched on the shoulder that we've seen him get out of those plays, roll to his left, and make a throw. So we don't know what those situations would be. That's obviously a part of his game. That is a strength. I didn't think either quarterback looked uncomfortable. I thought they both looked poised. But, obviously when you start talking about the edge rushers having a good day, Mason Smith up the middle had a good day. They didn't have the most time. But when they did, when the offensive line bared down and Coach O challenged them, I thought both quarterbacks moved the ball well.
I mean, that is the thing. People keep asking me, is the O-line bad? Is the O-line bad? I don't think they're bad. I think that what it is they are, though, the biggest potential limiting factor of the offense in that it's not a bad group. I think LSU's got a really good D-line, right? It's not a bad group, but it's a group that can kind of determine how far your offense will go. So it's kind of interesting with Max, right? Because I think that we entered camp with arguably unjustifiably high expectations. I mean, when you look at the very limited window in which we saw him last year, and granted he did well in that window, but I mean, I'm doing all these preseason interviews talking about how I expect me to go 9-3, maybe even 10-2, and there's no difference between him being the starter, Brendan being the starter, all of these things. Do you feel now that we're on the other side of camp, do you feel that we were justified in that sort of evaluation?
I mean, I
think if we want to bring Scooch back for another week, I think it's maybe just I would say that I have a Scooch more trepidation than I did going into camp.
See, here's the deal. When you look at the offense and you can point to a couple of the defensive guys missing too, like you have to think, like when you went out there on Saturday, Max didn't have Keyshawn Butte.
Yeah.
He didn't have his top 2 backs.
Fair.
Didn't have 2 of his starting offensive linemen. He didn't have Trey Palmer, who's a nice change of pace guy in the slot. I mean, there's a lot of weapons that your quarterbacks don't have as well. Like it's not just the defensive guys that are missing. And so you're talking about Keyshawn, who last time we saw him set the SEC record.
Yeah.
Talking about your top 2 running backs. Now the young guys getting these reps, that competition's closer than it's ever been. I understand that, but still you're down 2 bodies.
He's still a top 2 running back, most experienced 2 running backs. You could definitely say.
Yes, I don't know where that's at right now.
Yeah,
we haven't seen Ty Davis Price in a long time. He started out camp on such a heater. I was so excited.
Yeah, you were.
I mean, that was my first note that Saturday practice. He was doing things in no pads that I'd never really seen him do, and I was all right. Here we go. If he can do it in no pads, we know he's a thumper. He can do it in pads. But he's been missing, He's got whatever he's dealing with. So I thought for missing who you were missing, I thought the offense and the quarterbacks, if that's what we're breaking down, still had a very nice day.
Chili Vic asked Jacob, how do you feel about the play calling for both coordinators? I mean, a lot of that's scripted.
A lot of it's scripted. Offensive-wise, it's about what I expect. I'll tell you what I've noticed on defense, there's been communication. Like I think I saw one busted coverage. I think it was one busted coverage in the entire scrimmage that I was at. Wow. So that communication from the defense has gone up a lot, considering what last year was.
They're not just like putting their hands up and looking at each other all the time and shrugging.
They're not.
Oh man, disappointing. Brooks Godberry, Hester, how do you feel about both the offensive scheme overall? And I guess he's saying, do you feel good about Pete scheming up plays to consistently get playmakers the ball in space?
That's going to be the interesting part about it, is who they target as the playmakers. Because it is nice to have like 8 to 10 options at receiver. It's nice to have options at running back. But, when times get tough, when you need that play, how do you scheme it up to get that guy open? Like that's something we didn't get a chance to see this last weekend because Keyshawn's going to be that guy, and Keyshawn was out. Now, Malik Neighbors became that guy because he was in the scrimmage. Which running back are you going to trust on 3rd and 4th and 1? Like you haven't had your full arsenal yet. So it's those are things you got to start working out. But you can't as a coordinator until these guys get on the field. And I don't know what the injuries are. I have no idea what the injuries are, but you're getting close to that time, T, where if you're not,
there's a worrying number of bodies out
there. Well, yeah, there is, but I'm talking about even at this offensive skill positions, not even counting the linemen.
Yeah,
I got to know who I can count on. I got to know, like, if it's a short yardage situation and I don't run max, who am I giving the ball to? Because we have not yet had the full arsenal to be able to see in pads who's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like, so some of these guys that aren't back right now, if you're not back in 3-4 days, you're going to get left behind. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just the way camp works out.
Yeah, I mean, technically now, as they are saying, they're now out of camp into game prep. So you'd figure that it's less 1s versus 1s, 2v2s, and you're going more actual scout team where you're going to be looking at UCLA scheme, lighter practices, get you more physically ready, hopefully get some of those bodies back. But yeah, like Jake said, you really can't afford to miss this week. All of a sudden, then it's game week. So, I know that Stingley, the plan has always been for Stingley to return today. That would be great. You obviously want to see Ricks come back sometime this week as well. Go ahead and throw in the offensive lineman as well. Like, it makes all the sense in the world. You don't want Ed Ingram to scrimmage Saturday? I completely get that. Don't put Ed Ingram in a scrimmage on Saturday. He means way more to the team now. But this is when we want to start getting these consistent reports about guys returning. Brian Bird just saying, talking about how, look, somebody's saying I'm not going to get too hyped up or discouraged over scrimmage notes. And Brian said, right, you can't put too much stock in the stats from a scrimmage. Look, you can't put stock in the stats from a scrimmage. I do agree with that because it doesn't work. Right. It doesn't function like a normal football game. But, like, you can get barometers of the form that guys are in and the form that sides are in. And I definitely came away, and my two extended views of the team, I feel like this is still going to be a good football team. All the absences has maybe made me a bit concerned because nothing can upset the apple cart more than just injuries. I mean, again, look at the 49ers in the NFL last year, where the team that finished 6-10, and now they're all immediately being picked. They're being picked to finish in the top 10 as one of the 10 best NFL teams this year, and it's all because of health. So I'm a little worried there. But overall, Jake, on the other side of camp, I feel like a lot of my pre-camp hope for this team in terms of that they could be a 9-3, maybe even pushing 10-2 team. I think I see those elements there through what I witnessed.
So my biggest concerns going into this fall camp were who's going to play linebacker, who's going to play safety. We had a really good idea of who the offensive line was going to be. Now they've been injured, and that's a little worrisome, getting those guys healthy.
Yeah.
And the other one was, who's going to play running back. Those are my three positions. Running back, we still don't know. Linebacker, we're starting to figure out that they've got a rotation of 3 or 4 guys that they feel pretty good. I mean, Buck Strong's another guy that we didn't talk about. He was out there as well. So that's a group that's way deeper than we thought they would be. And Major Burns, I'll be completely honest, when they got him to transfer from Georgia, I was like, okay, how's he going to fit into this rotation? Is he going to fit into this rotation, or are they just adding a body for depth? I think he's played his way into being a true starter for this defense. Now, if he's not out there the first play, to be like, wait a minute, you said he was a starter. Don't look at first play. Look at number of snaps. And so that got answered for me so far. Linebacker's been answered. Running back is still something that I'm like, okay, somebody who wants this job. And if it's a young guy, great, go get it. Because we are getting so close to game time, and so many guys, your top veteran guys have missed so much time in camp. That's what I'm saying. Don't sleep on Josh Williams, not because of he might just be forced into the role. He had a nice day.
Yeah.
Like, there's things that he does well at the running back position. So he's starting to take that a little bit, and you've got 21 and 22 coming. Let's see what 3 and 4 can do. You're going to be challenged. I don't care who it is. Like, hey, 3 and 4, when you get out there, go take that job. That's still the position that I've got. Okay, who's going to do it? Who's going to be it?
Devontae Lee, Shane Floyd mentioning him. He had a nice day. He of course had the craziest circus kind of highlight catch on the sideline.
That wasn't the only one he had.
Going the rounds on Twitter.
That wasn't the only one he had.
Oh, wow.
He had a couple, maybe none to that, but he had some close.
Anything out of the tight end position? Because, okay, when I was out there, personnel groupie-wise, it felt like they were a bit unused. There's a little scheme thing. What's going on with Besh and Taylor? How often did you have a tight end in there, or did they pop it all?
No, they still had 11 personnel, and Taylor was the guy. And
okay.
It looked like Besh has his own certain package, as far as when he's out there. Jack Mashburn was somebody that was out there with the twos at tight end. So Best just kind of going in the ones and the twos and special packages. A couple of plays made up for him. Like I said, he hit that seam route for about a 40-yard touchdown. Maybe it was 35-yard touchdown. It was a really nice route. The linebacker didn't get the coverage. That was the one busted coverage that I was mentioning. But Jack did a nice job of pushing the safety and bending it back in to the hash. And that was the one time that he flashed. It's a very thin position. It's a very, very thin position. One of the things, though, Jake Peets told us way back, was it March or April, whenever we had the coaches caravan, they're not afraid to put like different personnel groups.
Yeah.
If it's 20 personnel with 2 backs and no tight ends and 3 receivers, they'll do that.
No, for sure.
Now, I didn't see
I
didn't see any of the 20 personnel on Saturday at scrimmage, but going back to, I think it was last week where you saw some of it. So,
I mean, if you're really that confident in the receivers as we think you are, and you're that deep at that position, it would make logical sense
go 10
to
personnel.
put. Yeah,
easy.
that's what I'm saying. To just be 4 wide, maybe not exclusively, but almost as your main personnel grouping.
Yeah, you can go 10 personnel, which is 4 receivers, 1 back, and no tight end very easily. It's still the tight end depth. That probably should be a concern because, I mean, you got 3 bodies right now that you feel could play. If you go down 1, I mean, you're extremely thin there.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap up hour number 1. Look, we still got our weekend winners to get to. Hour number 2, we're going to talk to Jack Marucci, Director of Player Innovation, about what does the science say about getting these guys back and getting their bodies ready for game time. We got to preview a little Saints-Jags coming up tonight. Other NFL preseason news to get through throughout the weekend. A ton more football to be talked on this morning. It's OTB. Keep it locked right here, Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, right there off of Airline Highway. You can go in and see them today. Let them be the shaman as you travel the Carbine Wilderness. Or if you don't want to go see them off of Airline, you can go start online, All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. The site is a great resource where you can talk to people live if you want, or you can just kind of explore on your own. All the flippers have all the incredible deals going on, the new 2021s that are here. I mean, you can also get some sweet deals on the 2020. The national sales event's going on through September 7th. So what are you waiting for? Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Once you go there, you'll see, as T-Bob mentioned, I love it, the flippers, all different kinds of things going on over at All-Star like that. Sales event they've got going on through the 1st of September. But don't forget, you can rent a Toyota as well. No matter what you've got going on, if you're going to a tournament, you need an SUV, a van, truck, whatever it might be, you got a little extra equipment, or if you just got a getaway and you want a sedan, something for you and the missus, you can check that out, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Middle Relief, and after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Join me, Jimmy, on for the Monday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers from Rouge Creole and Perkins Row. Recap all the weekend actions inside the numbers and out. Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Down. Welcome back, OTB. T-Bob, Jake Mario, and Danny hanging out with you today. Here's an interesting point in the chat from Lewis Burner. He says, so it sounds like LSU is winning the Burns for Gilbert trade. Ironically, right? I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like, who would have guessed? Major Burns, people were kind of poo-pooing him when he came over here, like, it kind of is what it is. He wasn't that good. Like, whatever, kind of is what it is. Says, like, he's really come on as of late. And despite Kirby Smart's comments at SEC Media Days, where it sounded like, maybe Gilbert still does play, right? I haven't kept up with this week's news cycle with Arik, but despite what Kirby Smart said at SEC Media Days about him being eligible, him being able to play, last we heard, had he been suspended from the team or he had yelled at a coach?
Honest. He's not with the team right now.
Okay, so Alan Goodwin asked a question that I've been thinking about all weekend as well, which is like, what's it going to do to your mental state next week if UCLA comes out Saturday and looks like locked in? Like, what if they just, like, beat the hell out of Hawaii? And it's just, like, solid, efficient offense.
Like four
pretty
quarters
good defense.
of...
Like, just like they just look really good. Just really sharp.
I guess I would be a little surprised because I do think Hawaii is going to put up a little bit of a first-half challenge. Todd Graham being the coach there, he's a defensive backs coach. I think the defense will probably play sound football. Like, I don't know if they're athletically going to be able to keep up with UCLA. I don't know. I mean, I kind of think UCLA should dominate that game. I mean, I understand what the question is, like the optics, if they go out there 48-3 them.
I mean, look.
That changes it. Like, if you ask me, hey, what's the score going to be in 35-10?
Nerves are coming regardless. Nerves are absolutely coming regardless. That would just be a nice way of kind of upping the ante a little bit. Just making you take UCLA a bit more seriously than it seems like the majority of us are at this point, right? I mean, we kind of talked about it with Coach Neuheisel a little bit, but certainly, and I'm chief among this, okay? I've been parroting the line that, look, if you want to be the team that we think you're capable of being, you have to be able to beat UCLA. And I still think that is true, but I think maybe what I have lost in that statement that is true is that UCLA is probably a bit better than I'm giving them credit for. Defense is horrible. They got a really good quarterback, lost a ton of close games last year. That feels like a team that's kind of knocking a little bit. So
you get a transfer running back in from Michigan. Let's see how he integrates himself into the offense. You also what?
Champ saying, forgive me for not buying all this talk from the building or from Jake and T-Bob. They're the original conductors of the Pelini trade. I mean, look, that is.
Oh my gosh.
That is unfortunately true.
Hey,
I mean,
Champ, what you always forget, hands up when we're wrong on this show, but like, hey, we missed that one.
Dude, that's unfortunate. It's like I said, though, we're so close to this thing all the time. It's like I need them to play somebody else so I can get some objective.
What we knew Bo to be from the time that we spent with him was a complete opposite of what we saw. We saw aggressive linebackers, we saw guys in the right spot, and we saw, communication. We saw none of the three.
Shine of national championships also a hell of a thing, right? Yeah. I mean, nothing could go wrong.
Again,
we were hand waving away.
Don't
Jamar
mind saying
Chase
we were wrong.
leaving, which the Chase thing now even looks like it's still affecting him as well, which we'll talk about next segment. So we got weekend winners coming up. Give us your weekend winners in the chat. We got more OTB next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to DraftKings.com. That's right.
Yeah.
Dr. Abear here, leading you to DraftKings.com so you can win millions of dollars.
Look, right now, you got baseball. You get to be the GM every single day of a different team. You get 10 slots. You get a pitcher, 9 position players. You try to get as many points as you can, and you can win some real money. But don't forget, football is coming very soon. So that's going to be something else that you're able to be the GM every single day, right? Fantasy football, you make one bad selection. Sometimes that can ruin your season, not with DraftKings because you start over every single day.
That's right. So look, DraftKings.com, download the app today and use the promo code Baton Rouge with your first deposit, just for $5. That's it. Minimum $5. Use the promo code Baton Rouge, all one word, and you will get free chances to win millions of dollars worth of prizes. What do they say? Shoot your shot. You miss all the shots you don't take?
Yeah.
Well, take a shot with DraftKings. Download the app today.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have, and Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm.
We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Monday, August 23rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 97. In case you missed hour 1 of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up in hour 2, we had the latest edition of Weekend Winners coming up next. Also, LSU football director of player innovation Jack Mariucci joins us at 8:30, and Matt Hayes of the Jaguars Radio Network joins the show at 9 a.m. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on CST. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. T-Bob, Jake Meyer, Danny hanging out with you right now. Super hype.
Hey.
Finally getting my hair and beard trimmed for the first time in like 2 months after the show.
Can't trim your own beard?
I trim my own beard generally, but I've let it get a little unruly on purpose over the last like week and a half for it's what I always talk about, right? The sweetest drink of water is after you force yourself to get a little overly thirsty. So the maximum tightening up effect occurs if you let yourself get a little overly unruly as well. Okay.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, if you're just moderately thirsty, water's fine. But like, what about when you're like, yeah, you're just sucking it up.
Okay.
Just love it. Like a Storyland.
But we don't drink water. We drink My High on this show.
Which is just water with something.
Yeah, but it turns into My High.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like if you're drinking Kool-Aid, you're not drinking water with
This is
Kool-Aid
like
in it. You're drinking Kool-Aid.
Is water wet philosophical debate here? Are you, or are you drinking My High flavored water? Like
No, you're drinking
does the
My
water
High.
transpose
No.
into actual?
Have you ever
My
said
High?
you're drinking flavored Kool-Aid water? No, you're drinking Kool-Aid, which is powder mixed with water. You're drinking
That's fair.
Kool-Aid. Or lemonade powder, or Tang.
Yeah.
Whoever drinks Tang, God bless them.
Danny, what animal was prominently featured in Tang commercials back in the day?
I don't know.
Wow.
Kangaroo?
I just remember the astronauts drinking Tang.
Yeah, the orangutan. It was like a space orangutan. It was like a space monkey. I have the primate probably wrong. I think it was an orangutan, but like it was a primate is the point. Okay. One worrying note, if we want to cloud our sunshine a bit about this LSU team, one worrying note is that I would say now that we're on the other side of camp, I am more worried now about the Dare Rosenthal departure than we were to begin camp, and that is a bit disappointing.
Yeah, when it happened, because Dare had missed so much time, he was in and out of the lineup, and because you had to fill in for him, sometimes, just like, week by week, it felt like, okay, well, you've played without him before, but you made a great point. Like, he was kind of honing in on the technique part of playing offensive tackle, because he was always super talented. Yeah. Remember, he played D-line when he first got to LSU, so he was still kind of learning the ways of playing tackle as far as technique, and he couldn't, if he wasn't the better athlete in the situation, which didn't happen often, but it did happen, could he fall back on that technique? And it definitely feels like one that you're missing right now compared to at the beginning of the camp. You just assumed because he missed time and LSU had done well offensively without him that they would be okay.
Yeah. And honestly, I just don't think that I don't think Cam Wire was as strong as I was hoping for during camp. But, here's to hoping that's a function of going against Andre Anthony and Ali Gay, and those guys are good. We believe in that most people that he's going to face will be a step down, and therefore these problems will seem worse now than they will be going into the regular season. Right now, let's dive into a little Weekend Winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right.
Winners.
We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. Got too
Weekend
far.
Winners.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do.
What's that? Win the whole thing.
All right, my weekend winners. You mentioned Miggy not being celebrated in the correct way. I mean, come on, dude. The Baltimore Ravens beat the Carolina Panthers 20-3 to win their 19th preseason game in a row. Who does this tie? Lombardi's Packers from the Bart Starr days, Jake. That's right. And now they'll have a chance against the Washington football team to set the record. You know, I'm sure y'all have heard it before, but actually until everybody died, the old Packers would get together and they would drink champagne every time the last undefeated preseason team lost. So there's been no champagne drunk for a few years now, thanks to Baltimore.
Oh, great. Baltimore's winning games when the most exotic run play you have up is load power.
19 in a row.
Congratulations.
Tying the record. Going for 20. Flocka.
Yeah, when you've got, Key Wright, 9229 is your most exotic pass play. Good job.
That's good. It actually plays because that's a Raven noise.
Sure. Congratulations.
Hey, when will the Ravens lose a preseason game?
Never. Go ahead.
Nevermore.
Yeah, never.
You said never game. I screwed it up.
Yeah, I knew what you meant though. You done?
Yeah.
Okay.
The champagne thing's obviously untrue.
Paul Bernardoni is a French soccer player. He is a weekend winner for me, not because of what he did on the field. I thought this was
the pitch.
Good job. Good job. You're growing. And this isn't, again, for something he did on the pitch.
There we go.
Better. And maybe this is a little old man of me, but I really like this. So a reporter noticed he didn't have headphones on getting off the bus, and he was the only player. And so they asked him, hey, is that why are you not wearing headphones? Everybody else did. He said, I don't wear headphones when I get out of the team bus. It's a question of respect. We play for the public, and when we meet people, we should be able to hear them. I couldn't live with myself if I missed a kid who asked me for an autograph or a picture or just to say hello. So for that reason, I don't wear headphones because I can listen to the fans and the small children that are there to see us play. I never really thought about that.
That's admirable. To each their own. I don't think it's the only way of doing things, but it's admirable for him for sure.
I really like that because I understand you're trying to get in the zone, but a lot of times that's like 2.5 hours before you kick off. Okay. So he's like, look, these people pay. These children come and we're their idols. And if they want to say hello, and even if it's just a how you doing and a wave to them, he said that can make their day, and it's a thing of respect. It's a little old school, but I appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
Think about that.
But I appreciate it.
Well, why not?
Because I liked listening to my music in my headphones.
Well, you can do that when you get in the locker room.
Yeah, but maybe it's just doing the Tiger Walk at LSU is just such a different experience.
Think about Victory Hill, how many thousands of fans line up to see you.
And it's awesome when you've got Led Zeppelin pumping in the background.
Well, now, but now they play music on the big speakers, so you've got music.
I mean, when the levee breaks, walking down the Tiger Walk, are you kidding me?
I'm just saying.
Get better at that, dude.
My first weekend winner is
No, I feel you, though. I'm not taking away from that.
That's fine. It's
not for me.
You're not a man of the people. That's fine.
I like to wear headphones on the way to the stadium, too.
That's fine. Hey, you're not a man of the person. Well, nobody's calling your name.
No, that's the least shocking. Yeah, I'm surprised Mario. All about Mario.
No, it's just saying Mario in his earbuds. Mario,
all right.
Mario.
And it's Mario's time for weekend winners.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson over the weekend played really well, completed 9 of 11 passes against the Packers, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns to finish with a perfect 154.7 passer rating. Not perfect, close to it. Aaron Rodgers gave him props after the game, said he's going to be a really good quarterback, and he's been playing really well all preseason. In 6 preseason possessions, Wilson has yet to have a 3-and-out. That's pretty good for any QB, especially a rookie. So Zach Wilson quietly playing really, really well.
Okay.
I'm glad you noticed that one because I started to look at the stats. I didn't dive into the Jets game, but I was looking at the stats of some of the young quarterbacks. That's 2 weeks in a row. And nobody's talking about him.
No, for
He's
sure.
the number 2 pick, and everybody wants to talk about Trey Lance.
Let's be clear.
And everybody's talking about Fields, and that's fine. Go talk about those guys because they're going to be probably starters sooner rather than later. But nobody's talking about Zach Wilson.
We talked about him. We did. We gave him credit last week. I'm just saying.
We're smart.
We've been we were on Clothed Nuts early. We've been on Zach Wilson here.
Yeah. So if we were on the
he's in New York,
Pelini train, but when we got off, we got on the Zach Wilson train.
It is kind of interesting that he's in New York City and looking like he could maybe actually be some sort of, if we want to really extrapolate, right? Looking like he could be some sort of savior for this horrible franchise. I'm shocked that he's not getting more attention, quite frankly.
It's probably the fact that, Goose isn't there as the head coach anymore either. Adam Gase.
He's horrible. Failing upward, personified. Danny, what you got?
My weekend winner goes out to a former middle school and elementary classmate who's now in the NFL.
Okay.
His rookie season.
Okay.
Kirk Merritt. He's with the Dolphins. He's a running back and a wide receiver. And shout out weekend winner. He was all over the Dolphins social media for his practice performance.
So have you read up on it all? Is he going to make the team maybe potentially?
I mean, it's up in the air, but he's an incredible athlete. Like, dude's got an incredible streak.
So from NOLA 504.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was like a Destrian legend. Like the dude broke every record at Destrian.
Okay. Hell yeah, dude. My next weekend winner also somebody who attended my high school, Dan. The Houston Texans. Now 2-0 in the preseason, Jake. Gonna shock the world. That's right. Go Texans. 2-0. Undefeated with Davis Mills, GAC's finest under center and noted gamer.
Yeah. Starting quarterback from day one.
Real talk, he'll make an NFL team this year, which means my high school in my day had nobody. And JC will have 3 NFL players this year. Darius Slayton, the receiver for Giants. And there's another receiver somewhere.
Must be a stud. Well, actually, if it's in the NFL.
Hater?
He is a stud.
Hate.
Anybody that makes the NFL.
Jake. How many does Evangel have in the league right now? Brock Berlin ain't coming through that door.
That's the one you went to?
Hey, how
that's
could
the
you
one
not,
you know.
dude? National Gatorade Player of the Year,
That's
dude.
the one you know.
Brother Martin's
That's
got
the
4
one
right
you
now.
know.
Brother Martin's got 4 right now.
Oh, that might lead the club. I think Evangel has 3 as well.
Big
I think
flex standing.
4 might lead the clubhouse.
Okay.
All right.
And one in the NBA.
And one NBA.
Yeah, we definitely got NBA players.
Malcolm Brogdon. Count it.
Okay.
Not to brag. My little brother was on a state championship winning team with him.
Nice.
Saw him as a true sophomore kicking ass.
Any baseball players while we're at it? You go ahead and get it in.
No.
All right.
I don't know.
I
don't even like my high school, so it doesn't matter.
My next weekend winner, again, not for something on the field, but I thought something that was funny while he was off the field, and that goes to Chase Young. This is, I don't know, we didn't have this video, and I didn't prep in time, but there was someone talking trash to the football team sidelines, Washington football team.
Yep.
I try to distinguish that. And he was just talking, and finally Young comes in and he shuts it down. His trash talk back was, "You're still in the game." So his pads were off. He had the sideline cap on. He just comes over. He's like, "You're still in the game," and shut everything down.
Yeah, I mean that says it all.
It's so good.
It says it all right there.
There is something about, and very few times that I get to experience this because
here we go, elitist preseason Jake.
Even when I was a starter. Like I was the only fullback on the roster. So if there's a fullback in, buddy boy, you're still in the game, right? But the few times that you did get to do it, it did feel good to kind of take your shoulder pads off, throw a little sideline cap on.
It probably felt incredible.
Throw a big red man in and just enjoy it.
It's just such a foreign feeling.
Yeah.
We got any more, Mark?
Yeah, so Terrace Marshall already has a nickname on the Spanish broadcast for the Panthers. He's my next weekend winner. It's El Elevador, which means the elevator, because he goes up and get it, obviously.
He looks big in his Panthers uniform.
And he looks really good out there, man. 3 catches, 50 yards against the Ravens this weekend. In the first preseason game, he had 3 catches for 88 yards. Somebody else who's quietly having a really, really good preseason. And him on the Panthers scares me a little bit, not going to lie.
Are we going to enter some sort of Stranger Things upside down where Jamar Chase ends up being the worst of the 3 receivers in the NFL? I mean, the current form right now, it looks like it. Danny, what about you? You got anything else?
First weekend loser goes out to NFL Top 100. They ranked Alvin Kamara 14th overall.
That's definitely a what? This is crazy Madden type of moment right there. Like, you don't really have to expound on it, but he should probably be a top 10 player.
Most definitely. Everybody on Twitter is like, "What?" Like they were so confused.
Wow, that's crazy. My next weekend winner. I mean, this one's pretty self-evident. Milk crates. I don't know that I've seen a milk crate in years. Like, I've not even seen a singular milk crate in years, and now suddenly everybody's got like 40 of these things ready to go, stacking them up. trying to walk across him, people getting just demolished left and right. One video I saw probably needed a little discipline where an older man was up in the crates and some like 13-year-old kid just ran up and kicked him out from under him.
Yeah.
Let me snatch that. If I was that old dude, I'd snatch that kid up by the collar. But yeah, big weekend. Oh, but like in all seriousness, and I know everybody's making this joke, so I apologize. But seriously, where are all the milk crates coming from? If I was to tell you to get milk crates for us to do an OTB challenge right now, I know Katie could do it, but where where would you go? Like, where would you go to get all these milk crates?
I have literally the back of a...
Because, like, the grocery store is not just going to give them to you, right?
I was about to say, like, the back of a grocery store.
Yeah, like a loading dock of some sort, maybe?
Nobody said you had to ask for them.
Yeah, no, I guess, yeah, you're probably going to have to say,
There were so many good videos.
Oh, man. At least that one was the most painful one. I kind of do want to try it, though. Big week for milk crates. Anything else? Anybody else?
Yes. So you hear people proposing to other people at ball games all the time.
Yeah.
But over the weekend at a minor league baseball game in Pennsylvania, a fellow named Tim broke up with his girlfriend named Alyssa and put a little message for her on the Jumbotron saying, Alyssa, this relationship is over. Tim.
Oh, my God, dude. What did he... So, like... Are you pretending to have fun at the game up until that point, and then you like point to the sign and walk away? Like, I have a lot of logistical questions here for our guy Tim.
Yeah, he must have paid a decent amount for that.
Okay, get that video ready to play. Get a video with audio ready to play. But my last weekend winner, you got anything, Jake?
No, you're good.
I would say loser. Actually, we can talk about it more during our preseason talk, but unfortunately, Jamar Chase. I hate saying it out loud, but it was a really off weekend for Chase. We'll get into that. And Schoonchafall definitely had a bit of a down weekend because it was boiling lava hot the entire weekend. Are we ready? My last weekend winner, CM Punk. I'm not a big wrestling guy, but this is pretty cool. After 7 years out of the ring, remember he did the whole UFC thing or whatever. People are like obsessed with CM Punk. I've never really watched him, to be frank. Well, he returned to the ring at AEW, and this is what it sounded like. It's good. Look, I don't know anything about it. People love him, though, dude. Pops.
I didn't know that other wrestling company
AEW
had crowds like that.
Yeah, bro. AEW. So that was the other big takeaway
My
is that
gosh.
AEW has really actually made a very successful and very legitimate competitor to WWE. Again, I get all my wrestling information just kind of through Twitter osmosis. But yeah, Cody Rhodes, what they've done there is pretty incredible. And it looks like now they've gotten CM Punk, which is obviously one of the biggest names. Like I said, been out of the game for 7 years. I've never even watched wrestling. Like I said, I just know that people are obsessed with it.
For real, and
Which credit
didn't
to
go
him.
well.
It's a Tim Tebow thing, right? Like we give Tebow credit for trying, know he's probably going to fail. Like CM Punk tried to be a UFC fighter from being a wrestler, like a entertainment wrestler. That's not a good idea, but he went for it. And now back in the ring. Back in the ring, dude. You saw that crowd, bro. They were
I
like,
can't, dude.
That one guy was like, oh my God.
That's thousands of people chanting your name, welcoming you back to your arena.
You get so fired
Great
up.
feeling.
All right, when we get back, let's talk a little Saints preseason game. Then we got Jack Marucci coming up here in about 12 minutes. Keep it locked on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Full start. Go to GEAUXroof.com. 927-8300 is the number. 927-8300. That's GoRoof.com. Okay, for all of your roofing needs, Go Roof can handle them. They are, look, so first, they offer a free professional estimate. So it doesn't cost them anything up front to come out and look at your home. So, and maybe you think something's wrong. Maybe you just want peace of mind. You want to figure out exactly where you stand. Call 927-8300. Have them come out. You get a fully informed breakdown of what's going on. Maybe it's nothing. If it is something and you need to get it fixed, then, of course, everybody's licensed, bond insured, and they offer a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty, okay? So you have peace of mind before, during, and after, and as you can tell, they are looking out for you at every step of the process as well, okay? They just want to make sure that your roofing needs are taken care of, and when you work with Go Roof, you'll find you get a beautiful new roof every shingle time. Go to GEAUXroof.com today.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts.
Check out Thursday's edition of Hunt and Hill, Sands Hunt. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I'm going to go play some golf, but Mario jumps in with Jay Hill. They'll be heavy on the Saints with some LSU talk as well. It's Hunt and Hill, noon to 2 weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. T-Bob, Danny, and Mario hanging out with you today. We just did our weekend winners. We got Jack Marucci coming up tonight, or right now, boys. I want to talk about the crest on my chest. You already know. I want to talk about New Orleans Saints. Preseason game tonight. That's right. It's game day. Are you kidding me, boys? Monday Night Football? Let's go. What's better? 7 p.m. tonight. Beers, food, Saints, and Saints preseason football that actually matters. Okay, like I don't know about y'all. Last weekend was the first time I have ever recorded a preseason game and then gone back and watched it that night simply because I think there are actual stakes at play here. And as we started the show with during headlines, Peter King reinforces. Sean Payton sat down with Peter King for about 45 minutes for his Monday morning quarter. It's not called Monday morning quarterback anymore than I was Pro Football Talk. I can't remember what he calls it now, but it's just Peter King writing like 20,000 words each Monday. But he sat down with Payton for 45 minutes on the phone, and Payton told me he hopes to have a starter named before Saturday. And King was saying that, in his opinion, talking to Payton and how Payton was framing things, that tonight's game, means a ton to who will eventually win this starting job. And that does make sense, right? Taysom starts game one, Jameis starts this game. You then compare the two in the starting roles. You combine that with practice information, and you should have enough to make a decision. I mean, if you can't make a decision after tonight, then what are we really doing? Like, you've been practicing for 3 to 4 weeks now. You'll have 2 preseason games. That is enough. That is enough. So I firmly believe that tonight is the final piece of the puzzle for who will be named the Saints' eventual starting quarterback. I still think that goes to Jameis for all the reasons we said. I think the potential slightly higher. Although the competition has been statistically pretty even, Jameis has been slightly better. And then there's, of course, the Swiss Army effect of Taysom and what he brings to the table. But no, I mean, if you're talking about storylines to watch tonight, well, there are others that I want to get into. It absolutely starts with how does Jameis Winston perform in the starting role?
Oh, without question, because you're getting close to that time, like you mentioned. You want to know who the voice in the huddle is going to be.
I mean, it's got to be. It is that time, right?
Look,
after this game.
You may be even more so than I, because you were an offensive lineman. You were a center. I mean, you had that relationship with the quarterback every single play.
We had a weird situation, though, where it was kind of interchangeable.
Dang it, T-Bob, I'm trying to make a point.
I know. I'm just.
But still, okay, well, that's a perfect example. You had a weird relationship. You don't want that. You want to have a voice that you know with a couple weeks left in practice. Because even though camp's kind of
hold on. Sorry. I hate to, just because there's already so many stupid rumors about that team back in the day, like in quarterback relationships. I had great relationships with both guys. My point is, there wasn't like one alpha quarterback we felt like we could win with either Jordan or Jarrett.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying, to be painfully clear. We did not have the alpha, like the leader of the team was like Tyrann Mathieu, right? Like it wasn't like a Tom Brady or a Joe Burrow type effect. Sorry. Now, continue. I apologize.
Okay. So you want to have someone named after this game because although camp's winding down after the second preseason game, you'll still have camp-like practices. But, for the most part, you're able to go home. You go home at 5. You don't stay up there till 10. You're still there grinding. You're still having, like, intense practices. But you want to start to have that guy because then as the third preseason game comes, like every 3 or 4 periods a day, you'll start to work on the Packers. You'll start having a scout team. You'll start to have different colored jerseys out there because you're trying to game plan, get ahead of the game for that first opening game that you have. So you want to have a quarterback when you start doing those things, right? And if it is Jameis, well, you want to start to have Taysom do a couple of things that he's really good at, which is playing kind of this H-back, slot, tight end, fullback, whatever you want to call it, hybrid role that he has. And for some reason, we're all surprised and it's Taysom, then you obviously want to get him as many reps as you can with the ones as well. So I think it's imperative that they have a quarterback named after this game. I think anytime you start to go this deep into camp,
I mean, you have enough information, though. That's my point.
Yeah, if you don't know these two guys
if you don't know by now, then there's no answer.
Without question.
Then you got no quarterback. You're screwed. So that's certainly something to watch tonight. Other things that I would be excited for to watch. I mean, you got to be a bit intrigued to see Trevor Lawrence, right? #1 overall pick. We talk about Zach Wilson balling out. Trey Lance had a bit of a bounce back. Not like dominant. Justin Fields had a bit of a reality check. And so it's always fun to see the young quarterbacks like Baby Deer kind of with their wobbly little knees taking their first steps. And then again, Jake, I think
lot
you're
of cover
further
two in those highlights.
You're further ahead of me than in this train than I am, but you're a bit of a Trevor Lawrence truther in that you're like, okay, let's see what T-Law is going to do when he's on an even playing field. Didn't look great week one. This is another opportunity where I want to see what Trevor Lawrence going to do.
When he's played equal talent outside of one game, he hasn't been the same guy. Now, when you start talking about skill set, you can see it. In pregame warm-up, nobody's going to impress you more. Like, he's got that type of arm.
Looks great.
But you do need to see him kind of take over and have success against guys that are the same talent as his receivers, linebackers that can cover his running backs, right? Because that's when he struggled a little bit. So it's a big preseason for him because you also have Gardner Minshew. Regardless of what you think of him, he's had some success in the NFL.
Yeah.
So they could technically start him, and then Trevor Lawrence could have to wait his turn if he's not ready to play. Now, Urban Meyer, being a college coach, seems like he is Trevor. He's our guy. We're not moving forward without him. But if he's not ready and you're throwing him out there.
I feel like there's no way that Trevor, like Gardner Minshew could objectively be better and playing better, and you still are going to.
It's not even playing better. It's like for his mental state, like to get him ready. Maybe it's game 4. Maybe it's game 5.
Yeah.
You throw him right out there to the Wolves with a bad roster.
I know, but I mean, what do you think ownership's thinking, right? Are they kind of in
my
Urban's
gosh.
ear?
It's like if you put Gardner Minshew in there for one snap.
Yeah, exactly.
That's every position. I mean, that's every that trickles down to college. I mean, that's every level. Like if you get the 5-star guy and the 3-star guy's playing better, you're still like, hey, get the 5-star guy some reps. It's like, well, wait a minute, this guy's playing better. It doesn't matter.
Here's
that trickles down to all levels of football.
LSU's 5-star guy can come through in John Emery. The last thing that I want to talk about real quickly before we get to Jack Marucci here, I'm very excited to see Paulson Adebo game 2. Obviously, what a weird kind of unknown quantity in terms of a draft pick, being a 3rd-round pick, but like not 2 years ago, almost not playing that much because of injury. Last year, not playing because of opting out, but then coming in really good form. And we're going to talk about opting out and what it means later when we get to Jamar Chase. And as, oh man, I wish I could credit them, but somebody in the chat was bringing this up. They're like, be careful running too forward. Like, this is why you can't sit out. Because yes, Chase may be an example of that, but then a guy in Paulson Adebo, like in the limited action that we've seen him, he sat out and he looked really locked in that first preseason game. So let's see how Adebo looks tonight. Is he actually the answer opposite of Marshawn Lattimore? Time will tell. Coming up next, did your computer just die? It was a very disappointed slam.
It was on 3%.
Yeah.
So I just went ahead and shut it down.
Rip. Yeah.
And I really needed my computer today.
Oh, that's convenient.
But I forgot my charger for the first time ever.
You have 32 felt pins, all different colors and ready for different tasks, but no charger. Dang.
I do.
I'm sorry.
I do. Well, my 32 felt pins are for a reason. I've told you that many, many times.
I know.
Like when you're playing a team that has green, you use green. If you're playing Auburn, you use orange.
See, kids, that's a sort of obsessive compulsive behavior that you too can tap into if you want to be an NFL player. It's just that attention to detail that separates those who make the team and those who don't. All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's talk to our guy Jack Marucci about this upcoming couple of weeks, what it looks like getting ready for the game. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to therelaxationcompany.org, therelaxationcompany.org. You want to chill before the season starts? Maybe UCLA comes out and looks really good on Saturday. You start to get a little nervous. Okay, go to Gonzales. Go out there at Pelican Point and go catch a massage. Treat yourself while supporting local family-owned business at The Relaxation Company at Pelican Point, therelaxationcompany.org.
We always give you the Instagram handle as well. And why do we do that? Because they always update it with whatever specials they have going on, or maybe they change your hours a little bit for team building. So check them out. TRC Massage is the handle there. Remember, in the month of August, you can get 20% off if you are medical personnel, police, fire and rescue, EMS. Right now, go over there to the Relaxation Company, and you're going to get 20% off. You can book that appointment online as well. TheRelaxationCompany.org. You can always pick up the phone, give them a call, say, hey, here's what I want. Do y'all do it? Yeah, chances are they do because they do it all over at the Relaxation Company, therelaxationcompany.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information,
join us for a Monday edition of Early Line as we recap the Saints' second preseason game against the Jaguars, discuss LSU's latest scrimmage inside of Tiger Stadium, and recap the rest of our picks from the NFL preseason. Tune in 2 to 3 p.m., 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Jeez. This 5-year-old football team y'all are part of is out of control.
What?
Getting like itineraries sent to me. I heard you're out here having them run like Denver Broncos running back drills, trying to get him to choose the gap and whatnot. This sounds like y'all are coming for the throne.
Oh, the kindergarten team?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, without question. Look.
Are you putting them through like real NFL training?
We've got a Super Bowl and national championship quarterback as a quarterback in a kindergarten league. If we don't win, that's on him. Okay?
Oh, yeah, that's
completely
true.
on him.
That's true. He is technically a Super Bowl and national championship winning quarterback.
Completely on him.
Okay. Here we go. We can do a little. So people send in some early Ask the Bench. We never have enough time at the end. So, by the way, we're struggling to get in touch with Jack right now. Not answering. We'll figure it out. Maybe we circle back around with him today, later in the show. Maybe we circle back around later in the week, because this is a topic that will remain relevant over the next 2 weeks, and that is how do you get this body ready to go for game day?
This body? Or their bodies?
Their body.
Okay. This body's going to be a long answer.
Their bodies.
Yeah.
So Bill Baggins says that's the question. Has Jamar Chase set an example for dudes in college to not opt out for an entire year if they know they are a first rounder? So for those who didn't see over the weekend, Jamar Chase, so we've already seen practice reports about how he's really been struggling to create separation, just hasn't really been making any plays. Did he play in preseason game 1?
Yes. He caught one pass, a screen pass, I think for like 13, 15 yards.
Well, in preseason game 2, he was targeted 3 times, no catches, 2 drops. I think you could almost argue 3, but no separation. One time he was going over the middle, really alligator armed it, like you could see, like just, the hit was coming.
Yeah.
And the Jamar Chase, when he was in his prime at LSU, would have brought that ball in, little hesitant. It just really was not a good look, especially if you're a Bengals fan when you spent months and months debating and kind of agonizing over, okay, do we go offensive line to protect Joe Burrow with Penei Sewell, or do you go Jamar Chase? And again, the conductors of the Pelini train, we very much
I love it.
The 2019 glow. I mean, we were kind of saying, go look at the film, right? His film's unbelievable. And when he was locked in, there was nobody like him. And the metrics on his size to strength to speed ratios are just absurd, and all of this remains true, but and it's not a one size fits all thing. Like we said, Adebo's played pretty well, and he sat out last year, but it seems like for Chase, the year off of football,
Micah Parsons has played pretty well for the Cowboys at linebacker. He sat out.
So but it does seem like in Chase, everybody's individuals. In Chase's situation, it seems like it has really affected him kind of a lot. And I still think I'm still betting on Chase long term, obviously, right? He was the alpha in a room with Jefferson and Marshall, okay? I still think that guy ends up being very good, but it's just it's going to take him a bit longer than we thought. We thought he could just hit the ground running. The year off took a little toll on him.
Yeah, it did, and it is the preseason, so it is hard to get a gauge. Now, dropping passes, that's preseason, regular season, that's any season, right? That's something that we just did not see him do. And in the NFL, as we all know, there's no wide open catches. Right? That just doesn't happen. That happens so rare in the NFL. So every pass you catch is contested. Slants, digs, goes, come back. It doesn't matter, right? So that's something that you'd like to see from him.
So I'm looking at the safety there.
He was right there. So, and we haven't seen him play with Joe, and that was one of the things that we liked with him going to Cincinnati was the connection that him and Joe Burrow did have together. Yeah. Right, Joe's not playing this preseason. That's something we know. So it's not looked good. It's not looked like we've seen him so many times in the past. But when he got to LSU, remember, he was so talented and he played, but it was only in the red area. They tried to ease him in a little bit. It wasn't in the full field. So he's kind of easing into his pro career as well. Now, you don't get the opportunity to do that. You got to get accelerated when the regular season comes. But it's going to be nice to see him with Joe, see if he can have that connection with his quarterback whenever it gets going.
And again, I want to be painfully clear, right? All you can do during the preseason is judge based on these very small windows, okay? So these takes are built on shaky ground, to say the least. It's just that the stock's a bit down. It's something to monitor going forward. I think he'll pull it off. Here's an interesting question from Jeff G. Jake. Wouldn't it hurt the offensive players more than the defensive guys to sit out for a year?
It hurt the offensive guys more?
Does it? Yeah. Do you think, or, again, it's probably just an individual thing, but.
I would honestly think the opposite. I would think it would hurt the defensive guys more because you haven't tackled anybody in a year. That's why I would think it would hurt the defensive guys more. You go a year without tackling, that's muscle memory. I get it, but still, that's very difficult.
How did it feel when you took a kind of a year
I was telling
off?
you that before. I took September, got released in September, got back in camp in April, and it felt like I never played. It felt like a giraffe, like a baby giraffe.
Huh.
I hadn't played. And it took me that full camp to kind of get my legs back underneath me, to be as sharp on pass protections as far as scanning and looking for the backside safety coming and just all those type of things, like reading a 3 technique and depending if I'm going inside or outside as block and how quickly I did that.
So
you can't not to cut you off, but you can't simulate that. You can't. It doesn't matter if you're working out on a field. It doesn't matter if you're out there on the beach. It doesn't matter. You can't you can't practice that. You can't. There's muscles that you use in a practice that you can't use in any CrossFit workout, anything, dynamic workout. You cannot do it. And you can't. You want to. You think you're doing it, even if you're going one-on-ones. That's not real football.
Yeah.
So it is very difficult if you're not playing football. Last time Jamar played was January of 2020 before this preseason. So, it's going to take a little bit to knock some rust off. Now, if we're week 4 in the season and we're still seeing that, then that's when you worry.
Reeves saying weekend winner Joe Burrow because his backup can't even get Jamar the ball. Kind of implying that maybe it's on the quarterback. I mean, they were good throws. He could have gone. Also, to maybe
the one throw with the safety, sorry. Again, he shouldn't have thrown that ball.
Okay.
I mean, you're going to be having your receiver eating out of a straw if you do that too many times. But the other ones, you still got to catch it.
In Baby Giraffe's defense, they are actually running within 10 hours of their birth. So,
are they running at birth?
I mean,
it's
pretty close, dude.
Yeah, but pretty close isn't.
Within 10 hours is essentially yes. Like over a giraffe's entire lifespan.
Within 10 hours of being back on the field, I felt better about it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Did you though? I mean,
yeah, I did.
I don't know, dude.
It was like the 5th practice.
I don't know. Did you drop 5 feet to the ground out of your mother's womb like a baby giraffe does?
I don't know. I was there,
Think
but I
about
wasn't.
having to deal with that. They got to
the
drop.
doctor could have missed. I don't know.
Imagine a freshly formed human baby just dropping 5 feet and smacking on the ground because that's what these baby giraffes have to go to.
I feel, as I would say, naked without my laptop right now.
Yeah, it stinks.
Just letting you know.
Well, baby giraffes are born naked and they don't complain.
I feel like there's some pretty good chat going on right now with baby giraffes and falling 5 feet that I can't be involved in.
Yeah, look at your phone. Go to YouTube on your phone.
Oh, I could do that. I didn't want to be like looking at my phone.
Old. Wow, dude.
Mario, what are you laughing at?
T-Bob calling you old.
Yeah.
Bro. All right. When we
you look 40. Get out of here, Mario.
Champ, you say
Ageist?
that you say that giraffes lay down at babies. That's actually not true. A quick Google search has said that's not true. So I'm going to choose to believe that.
Wait, where'd you find this giraffes in 10 hours?
I
you knew that? Like that's knowledge in your brain?
It tickled something that I thought baby giraffes run straight out of the womb, and so I quickly Googled baby giraffes run out the womb, and only 10 hours later, the baby will be running with the other giraffes. How about that? Athletic babies.
So
what if
baby
a little
horse?
Dude, what if a little human baby could run within 10 hours of being born?
Oh, that'd be miserable.
Just a little sprinting baby.
That'd be miserable.
God, dude, that would be miserable.
Think about when they're like 18 months old and they start actually running like that.
Oh man, that'd be so funny.
Oof.
All right, when we get back, closing up hour 2, and then a lot of NFL talk as well as our guy Matt Hayes talking SEC and the Jaguars coming up at 9. Keep it locked on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to advantaclean.com. Advantaclean.com. 369-5228 is the number. 369-5228. One call to solve it all. Okay. I don't know what you're giggling about because there's no laughing matter, Jake. If you're talking about fire damage, water damage, mold damage, those suck. But you know what? AdvantaClean makes the process to fix it actually incredibly easy because, like I said, it's one call. Because not only do they fix the problem, but they document it, and then they deal with the insurance company for you. So it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's very simple. Go to AdvantaClean.
That's right, T. Peace of mind is only a phone call away. And if you have a situation going on and you walk into the room and you have a leak, you didn't know you had a leak, and it's raining every single day here in Baton Rouge, and all of a sudden you've got mold, not a little mold, a lot of mold. It's all over the place because it spreads very quickly in this heat. We'll call AdvantaClean. I know it can be a very stressful situation, but they take the stress out of it. Check them out online for a full list of services at AdvantaClean.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
In the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Middle Relief, and after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR. Presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap LSU's second scrimmage, and it's game day. Monday Night Football. We're previewing Saints, Jags. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So it looks like the 5 to 6 foot drop for the baby giraffes actually encourages them to breathe when they hit the ground. So it doesn't like hurt their legs or neck or anything. It's just like the doctor kind of smacking them, getting them, making sure they're all good to go. Also sounds like zebras are running within a couple of hours of being born as well. Wildebeests within a couple of hours. Marine iguanas are quite literally able to sprint immediately after hatching, but I don't know about y'all. I find it less impressive coming from an egg versus a mammal. I feel like you just are, I don't know if you're more fully formed, but I mean, even think about those tiny little turtles, right? Little beach turtles just crawl into the sea right after they're born.
Dinosaurs?
Yeah, dinosaurs. Well, I mean,
I just opened Pandora's box.
Well, I mean, dinosaurs, though, I get more of a bird sort of feel, not a reptile egg, but like a little baby bird egg where the mama dinosaur is having to like chew up the food and throw it up into their mouth.
No, wasn't there.
Neither was I, but I have seen Jurassic Park. So there's a baby scene. There's a couple baby scenes
for sure.
in Jurassic Park.
I need to call my son Knox. He would be the expert on this topic.
Okay, guinea pigs can walk on the day they're born. Camels can walk 30 minutes after they're born. Okay, shout out to camels. And alpaca, 15 to 90 minutes. 15 minutes after being born. Shout out to alpaca.
Imagine being the one that takes 90 minutes. You bum.
Yeah. 10 hours for the giraffe, looking a bit less impressive now.
Yeah, it is. So, my analogy plays.
No. It still absolutely doesn't. There are like literally so many other animals that you could have chosen that are in a much more...
But they're all, look, they're
wobbly
all wobbly whenever
longer.
I mean, horses, yeah.
But they're still, I mean, even horses and zebras and stuff are running almost immediately.
Okay, but they're still wobbly at first.
Yeah, sure, why not? You're right.
Thank you.
Right now. I'll
Mary and Joseph.
I'll see it. Okay, so we got Matt Hayes coming up next to kick off the hour. He lives in Jacksonville, so he not only covers the Jacksonville Jaguars, but also covers the SEC in Florida and everything, right? So I'm thinking we maybe start hitting him with a little Trevor Lawrence, get that out the way. It is what it is. No Tebow questions. Not going to ask a Tebow question. And then we can go to Florida and kind of how he sees the East. I'll be very interested to see how Matt feels about it versus Jake, as Jake has been I said you were actually kind of perfect for you, Jake. You're not only a Trevor Lawrence truther, you're a Florida truther as well. So like, let's see what the actual Florida man thinks about these two topics.
One thing you'll learn about Matt, and he was on Hanging with Hester a bunch back in the day. He's going to tell you the truth about how he feels about either one of those teams. So excited to have him on. Florida, very interesting to me just because they lose so much. They're breaking in a new quarterback, but one that's played for 3 years in big spots and big moments. So it's a little bit of a interesting dynamic there at the quarterback position. Dan Mullen, the quarterback whisperer, but can he do it with Emory Jones with the weapons that he lost? So all that and much more with Matt.
Still got to ask the bench coming up. Want to get to some preseason kind of roundup from the news cycle over the weekend. Wow, that's crazy moment of the day. Keep it locked to TB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Ochsner.org today. Ochsner.org, the official medical provider to the LHSAA. That's right, as football season begins. Think about this. You want to know why Ochsner is for you if you have any orthopedic needs, any health things that you want to get checked out? Think about this. Football is a beautiful game, but it's a bit of a brutal game at times physically. And yet people at every single level of football, the LHSAA with high school, right? Colleges throughout the state, the Saints, like so high school, college, every single level, where do they go? They trust Ochsner. You should trust them too. Why? Just go see the facilities for yourself. Whether you're in Baton Rouge, the Grove, it's absolutely beautiful, or you're in New Orleans, go into the facilities. You'll be blown away, and you'll understand that, okay, that same ethos that leads to building these incredible facilities is why the entire organization is so great, because you build the best facilities, you then staff them with the best people, and whether it's the surgeons, the physical therapists, the bottom line is that the community's health is taken care of. Go to Ochsner.org.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Good morning, everybody. It's 9 a.m. on Monday, August 23rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies and a high of 97. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up on OTB OT, Matt Hayes of the Jaguars Radio Network joins the show up next. Remember to follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on Cox Sports Television. OTB OT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome back to OTB. Cortland Jacob in the chat, I believe maybe a scientist. He says, North American mammals are slower to being full strength. Whitetails definitely bed and hide, whereas African animals have to be able to run to survive. So we're starting to solve nature's mystery, a little evolution for the African continent versus the North American continent there. Matt Hayes hoping to see some evolution in the Florida continent. Can the Jaguars finally achieve their final form now with a number 1 overall quarterback pick? Matt Hayes, CFB, is the Twitter. Matt, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning.
What's going on, guys?
Nothing. We're doing well. So, look, we want to talk about a couple things. We want to talk about St. Jags tonight, and then we also obviously want to talk a little Florida as well. In terms of St. Jaguars, certainly what we're looking at from this side of the table, okay, what does Trevor Lawrence look like in game 1? Nothing, I don't know. What do you think? What is the current temperature on Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence, the new regime of Jacksonville Jaguar football?
I mean, it's hot. Everybody here is excited about it. I think of late there's just a little odd twist to it that they refuse to name Trevor the starting quarterback.
What is Urban?
Which means he's not getting all the first-team reps in practice, which is, that's the thing. There's no doubt about it. You guys have both played the game. You understand that you need as much reps as you can, number 1, at that position. Number 2, you need as much as you can with the first-team guys. So he's not getting all the first-team reps right now. Gardner Minshew's getting half, and it's not even close the difference between the two quarterbacks. But for some reason, that's where they are. I understand it. You're trying to set a culture statement within the program. You're trying to say, look, no one's going to get a job for free. You got to work and get it. Everybody's got to get it from the quarterback to the long snapper. I get all that. But at the end of the day, you're going to be counterproductive in the way that you're getting your guy ready to play the season because he will be the starter game 1, first play out of the chute.
What does the roster look like, Matt? Because obviously Urban had an uphill battle with what the roster he took over was. You get the number 1 pick, you get Trevor Lawrence, you add a couple of pieces. What's the roster, in your opinion, look like as far as competing in the next couple of years?
I mean, they were 1-15 last year, Jacob. That's really where you got to start. That's the baseline. I think they've got a small nucleus of guys that can play in the league. James Robinson, DJ Chark, clearly Trevor Lawrence. They think Travis Etienne's a guy that could be a player. Miles Jack on defense, Josh Allen on defense. They got a couple free agent acquisitions that, again, you guys know free agent acquisitions. It's boom or bust with all them.
Right.
Do these guys play once they get the money? So they feel good. They feel better than they did last year, clearly. But, I mean, how much better do you have to feel? I mean, 1-15 is bad. They were a bad 1-15. So I think that's an issue as well. As far as talent, I don't know. It kind of just is what it is right now. They're in a rebuilding mode. It's going to take 2 or 3 years to get to where they need to be.
Hey, real quick, I did want to follow up. You mentioned DJ Chark there. Urban Meyer called DJ out, right? Said he needed to play bigger, said he needed to do some things to change his game up and get back to the year before with the success that he had and not last year's version of DJ Chark. What have y'all seen from DJ in camp, and how's that relationship with Urban Meyer?
I think the relationship is fine. I think what Urban did when he first got there, honestly, was he called out the two biggest guys on the team, two biggest names. That would be Chark and Miles Jack. And he told Miles Jack he was fat and needed to get in shape.
Damn.
He told Chark, you're a big receiver and you need to play big.
Right.
You didn't play big last year. And I think he was making a statement to the entire team, whereas, look, these are the two best guys in the team, and I'm going to tell you guys right now what they're doing is not good enough. And that's pretty much what he did. I think they expect Chark to have a big season. He's going to be the number one receiver. He's the guy that I think was frustrated last year, and you could tell, at times during games when he'd hold his hands up and, he'd be disgusted at stuff. And what do you expect? He's got Gardner Minshew, Mike Glennon, and Jake Luton throwing him the ball. It's tough if you're an elite receiver or a potentially elite receiver and you don't have a quarterback that can get it to you on time and with anticipation and not get you killed. It's hard to play the game, man.
Did we lose Matt there? Let's see if we can call him back.
Are you talking on the microphone? Matt, what's up, dude? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
Got it.
sorry. You
Lost
just
for a
dropped
second.
out for a second. It's all good. Jake. Okay. Talking to Matt Hayes, CFB here. Matt, what has been the response to Urban so far?
It's been positive. I think it's been very positive. I think that the obvious question, T-Bob, is what happens when he starts to lose.
Yeah.
How does he deal with that?
Yeah.
He says he's talked to Billy Donovan, his close friend, from his time with the Gators, that he's learned. Billy Donovan had to learn how to lose, and it was okay to lose. And but I think this is a little bit different animal. I mean, this is a guy who, in his first year at Florida, after the loss at LSU, you guys made him remember this. He cried after the loss. He was so mad. He does not do well with losing. He wasn't happy losing that first preseason game.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's going to have to deal with it and find a way to deal with it, and then realize that this is a long haul. You're not going to go from 1-15 to 11-6 and in the playoffs.
All right, Matt, I do want to transition to college football because, like I said, you covered both of them really, really well. And before we get to the Florida Gators in the East, I want to ask your opinion about this alliance between the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12. I mean, I was on ESPNU the other day. We spent like 3 hours talking about this, and I just don't think that NC State versus Oregon State is really going to move the needle. What's your view on the alliance as they try to compete with the SEC?
Jacob, the SEC could care two flips about the alliance. They absolutely don't care. I think you look at every turn with this thing and what they're trying to do. They're only going to hurt themselves if they start talking about how they're going to try and control the college football playoff and limit how many teams the SEC or any conference can get in, to 3 or something. Then guess what, Big Ten, you're limiting yourself to 3 too, and you're also putting a stain on the actual playoff itself because you're saying even though you might be better suited for the playoff, you might be a better team for the playoff. You can't get in because there's already 3 in your conference, and we're going to take someone else who's not as good as you are. So immediately you call into question about the playoff's legitimacy. Again, that hurts those teams, those 3 conferences in that alliance, because at the end of the day, the television partner wants the 12 best teams. They don't want some configuration of 3 from here and 3 from there and 1 from there and 2 from. They don't want that. They want the 12 best. So that's hurting themselves. And if you start talking about we're only going to schedule amongst ourselves, well, then you're going to lose those 4 critical ACC-SEC matchups that are huge rivalry games that are big for all those programs. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to start talking about losing games against the SEC, where when you're in television and you're trying to get a television deal, the big thing that all these networks look for and Netflix and Amazon will look for are marquee games. They want big games. They don't want Ohio State versus Oregon State. They want Ohio State versus LSU.
Right.
So, and that's the games you're looking for. That's how you're going to drive revenue. So by doing this, you're simply going to lose revenue you could have. And in this day and age when revenue is king, and we all see what happens when a curveball hits, like COVID, and sports have to be dropped, and there's significant issues. You got to do everything you can to make sure you have as much revenue as you can. And we haven't even addressed the issue that's the biggest issue coming down the pike, and it's going to come down a lot quicker than you think, is pay for play with players. They're going to get paid because you can't have a million-plus year playoff, a billion-plus year playoff, and not pay these guys. Now, it's not going to be like $200,000 or $300,000 a year, but it's going to be, their $5,500 a semester stipend that they get now will probably go to like $15,000 a semester, and that's a significant amount of money, and you've got to find a way to pay that.
Yeah, that would be. Oh man, that'd be fantastic.
My
college getting $15,000.
You guys would have loved that, right?
My $500 scholarship check.
Oh, that would have been.
Imagine, okay, semester. Wow.
Matt Hayes, CFB, catch him noon to 3 every day at 1010XL, XL Primetime. Matt, let's talk Florida Gators real quick here. Jake is, and he's kind of convinced you, maybe a bit of a Gator hater. He's been a Gator slayer in the past, certainly. But he's maybe wondering, is Florida a little overinflated this year? Are y'all worried at all about old Kentucky over there in the East?
I think what they're looking at right now is Florida better figure out how to play defense.
Yeah.
They had a historically bad defense last year, worst in many categories in the history of the program.
Wow.
That's a big statement. So I think it's defense first. Dan Mullen stuck with Todd Grantham, but we all know Todd Grantham has this expiration date. He's usually 2 or 3 years out of place, and then it's they stop listening to him. And now this is now his 4th year at Florida, but 5th with Mullen because he had 1 year with Mullen at Mississippi State. So it's a big year for that defense. They've got a lot. Believe me, I've talked to numerous NFL scouts who have said there's probably 6 or 7 guys that are going to play in the NFL off that defense. And you don't have that type of issue, that historically bad issue, if it's not coaching. So that's a big deal. And, of course, you go from a quarterback who had a better year than anyone in the history of that program. That's saying a ton because they've got 2 Heisman Trophy winners or 3 Heisman Trophy winners, that played quarterback at that place. So, you go from him to Emory Jones. And Emory Jones, I think, is going to be a pretty good player, but he's not going to be the thrower that Kyle Trask is.
Yeah.
They think he's going to have a big season. They think he's going to do more in the run game for them. But, I'm one of those guys that, look, I want to see it when it's 3rd and 9 in Baton Rouge and you're trailing by 3 early in the 4th quarter and you got to make a play. That's when I'll believe.
You lose so many weapons real quick. You lose so many weapons. You lose Pitts. You lose Tony. You lose Grimes off that offense. And, Pierce is a nice running back, but he's not going to be like a home run threat. He averaged about 4.6, I believe, yards per carry a year ago. So where does the offense come from? Who does Emory Jones have to work with?
Well, they like Copeland. They like C.J. Henderson's brother, Xavier Henderson. Mullen was saying they like Gimbel, the tight end. Mullen was saying, look, a year ago at this time, everybody was saying, who's Kyle Trask going to throw to? You guys lost 5 or 6 receivers to the NFL, and then they end up having the best receiving core they've ever had.
Yeah.
So his idea is, look, we develop these guys. They'll play when we need them to play. And, again, that's good in theory, but I'm a guy that wants to see it first before I believe it.
Matt, do y'all take calls on your station? Like from listeners?
Do you guys take calls, T-Bob? Do you guys take calls?
No, we actually don't take
Well,
them.
that's why.
Okay.
I like it.
You take a call, and then the guy starts saying something. You look at each other, and you say, and that's why we don't take calls.
Yeah. Okay. One of our listeners wanted to know if you called the phone line the Jaguar, and I was actually pretty. I don't know. I wanted to see also. So no, there is no Jaguar.
No, there is not. No. Now there's people here that are not from Jacksonville that are from up north that have transplanted because they don't like what's going on up north, and who would actually. But they get down there and they say Jaguars and not Jaguars. Yeah.
Okay, you say Jaguars. Okay, there you go.
So
Matt Hayes.
Weird.
Yeah.
And Matt Hayes, CFB. All right, Matt, thank you so much, man. You have a great day.
All right, boys.
Thanks, Matt.
Yes, sir. Can't wait for tonight. Going to be a ton of fun. Interesting line about when it's record-setting bad, then you kind of have to trace it back to the coaches because it's basically the same thing that we said about Pelini all offseason, but to your point, they kept their Pelini.
That's what I've been saying. They kept Todd Grantham, right? They kept 31 points per game against. So it's the same personnel, but it's going to be the same voice, the same scheme. So how's that going to play out? They were the only team at SEC Media Day that had 2 defenders. They had no offensive guys there. They had 2 defensive guys at SEC Media Day. 2 that are going to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
But you can have all these NFL guys. LSU's defense last year got NFL guys, right? You had Jabril Cox. You had Jacoby Stevens. You had NFL guys.
It's true.
But if you don't put them in the right spot to succeed, if you don't make the adjustments, if you don't have the communication, it doesn't really matter.
All right, when we get back here on Off the Bench, I was right. I mean, that's really all there is to say. I was right, and I'll explain it next here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Yeah.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit garciadidmyroof.com.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota.
Join me, Jimmy, on for the Monday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers from Rouge Creole and Perkins Row. Recap all the weekend actions inside the numbers and out. Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
You're going to have to get Danny to...
Yeah. Yep.
Like Hitch.
Yep. Yeah.
Danny, you're like Will Smith in Hitch.
Exactly. Can you dance?
Like Mario, you can be like Kevin
Smith?
James.
Yeah.
And I'll be like
you like
love,
Kevin James?
I'll be like the love
Talked
interest.
about it.
Have we? I mean, I know I like Kevin James. You like Kevin James too, Mark?
Yeah, Kevin James is awesome. He
We
played
talked
Sean
about
Payton.
Sean Payton.
Okay, you ever watch Kevin James' YouTube channel?
I can't say I have. No.
It's very funny.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, you should check it out. So not only was I right about Kevin James being a badass, but not to brag.
But let me brag.
Did y'all see him? The biggest story of the preseason weekend. Revenge game. Troops.
Yeah.
Trubisky.
I did. Yeah, I saw it.
Mitchell, my guy, who I thought should have been Saints quarterback. What'd he do this weekend?
What'd he do, T?
20 of 28, 221 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, an 11-yard carry. He also had a touchdown call back. Somebody said about that's 106 quarterback rating. Damn, he looked good, dude. Top 30 rated quarterback of all time.
Yeah, he is.
Or top 35, what was it?
Yeah.
33, maybe?
Quarterback controversy in
top
Buffalo?
50, maybe. No quarterback controversy. But look, thank you to Ross Jackson, my guy. Give me credit. I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying.
Wow. Oh, you look evil.
That was from the show when we were talking about earlier.
I know. I see the headphones.
Look, I mean, I don't know.
It's when you were his biggest fan.
It's a better stat line than Jameis or Taysom has put up. Am I right?
No, you're right. You're right about that.
Can I just say, as a sports fan, there are a few things worse than a player who was awful on your team coming back with a different team and whooping your team's butt.
You know well being a Pelicans fan.
I was about to say you should replace sports with Pelicans because that's what you really mean. And and get ready. It's going to happen with Eric Bledsoe.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Now
Mini LeBron.
Now he's in LA and he's going to give a damn again. And he's going to be like playing hard for the Clippers. And it's going to be so annoying. And then it'll just be another piece of evidence that when people leave the Pelicans, they thrive.
Yeah.
And thus the cycle repeats itself. Hey, what are we talking about, though? Pelicans undefeated in the Willie Green era. The true Summer League champs. No Mickey Mouse, Sacramento King BS. Flocka.
Why are you picking on the Kings?
Because they won the I think they got the Summer League title. Which is probably another sign that, like, what you do in the Summer League just means absolutely.
Yeah, the Kings might be the worst franchise in sports.
I know. Hey, Summer League champs, though, okay? Beggars can't be choosers. You ain't had a lot of trophies to hang up. Hang the banner. If I was Sacramento, I would drop my, I'd hang a Summer League champions banner in the stadium.
First player that comes to your mind, Sacramento Kings. Go.
It'll always be white chocolate. It'll always be white chocolate.
It's my baby for me.
Is it? Okay, Danny?
And then Weber.
See Weber.
Jason Williams.
Okay, yeah. Mine's Vlade Divac.
Yeah, I mean, he's
First
third.
person. Yeah.
He's third. Like I said, I don't have him on today, but I still wear my King socks regularly with Vlade and white chocolate on there. They're great.
Didn't
I
know
also
you had
have a
those.
white chocolate jersey.
I do too.
Well, I had it before you. So.
Do you have Grizzlies or Kings?
Kings.
Me too.
Okay.
Don't you also have white chocolate socks? You got.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, but it's the best part is it's not even just Jason Williams. It's Vlade on one sock and Jason Williams on the other sock. And because my ankles are so fat, you can't even really see any of it because they're all just stretched out and morphed. It's like when you take the silly putty and you like copy the newspaper and then you pull it, even though y'all probably don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Here, did y'all ever play with silly putty? You know what newspapers are?
Is, yeah.
You know what newspapers are? It's where you used to like they would print
You put
them
the
into
silly putty on the newspaper. It'd get the ink off the newspaper onto the silly putty.
And you could stretch him, make funny faces.
My parents were afraid to give out silly putty when I was little at birthday parties because they thought other kids would think it's food and try to eat it.
It's fair. That's completely fair. I would not give out silly putty as a party treat.
What?
It looks pretty tasty.
Silly putty.
Yeah, it looks
the
pretty
pig one
tasty.
looks good.
Don't eat it. It's like Play-Doh.
Well,
Don't
like,
eat it.
what age are we talking about? Yeah, if you're like 8, sure. But like 3-year-old, I see some silly putty, I might think, ooh, look at that. It looks like a little piece of toffee or a little taffy. Come here. Your little
Toffee
airhead.
and taffy, you know, are completely different things,
You
right?
know what I meant taffy, right? That's
But you
the
said
stretchy,
toffee.
like
Laffy
saltwater. Yes, that's some Laffy Taffy, which I believe is also a different thing. Is it Shake That Laffy Taffy?
Shake
I
That what?
believe?
Yes.
The
Danny?
song?
Thank you. Somebody picked up. My God.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Yeah, but I set him up. I put you on the alley-oop, and Mario's the only one that slammed it home.
No, that's been the joke train that we've been making for the past minute.
That is a song I'm not playing out of YouTube.
D4L went to Northview High School, right by my house. How about that?
Wow.
We don't care about your roommates or somebody went to your high school or
Not my high
somebody
school.
that you grew up with and dapped up in your neighborhood.
Well, now I'm curious if Davis Webb and D4L were friends.
Why?
Because they both went to your high school.
Davis Mills.
Davis Mills.
No.
Sorry,
D4L did not go to high school.
Oh.
It was just a high school.
Oh.
It's a pointless story.
Yes.
Warren Sharp asks a question on Twitter of Sharp Football. Okay, I'm going to name a few names. Tell me who's going to be the starting quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock?
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock.
Over Bridge?
I think so.
You think so? Why?
I think so. Because they drafted Drew Lock. And when you draft a quarterback, if it's a 50-50 battle, they're always going to give it to the guy that they drafted. I've been in this situation in Denver. I know how the front office works. Drew Lock if it's 50-50.
Trey Lance or Jimmy G?
Well, this one's tough.
I
think Jimmy G, though,
So
to start the season.
So let's talk about this thing real quick. Bit of a Trey Lance bounce back. Still didn't start great. Threw an early pick, but finishes 8-14. The one touchdown to Travis Benjamin was really nice.
Yeah.
Looking away the safety, rocking it in there. And Garoppolo did not play well. I still think there's no way that Trey Lance is a starter week 1. Yeah. I still got major questions if Trey Lance is going to start at all this season. I mean, you drafted him high enough to, but this team's got to win.
It's a veteran team, yeah.
And Garoppolo's brought
team,
you to
good
a
roster.
Super Bowl, even though he didn't do anything during the Super Bowl run. Like, he was technically under center for it.
Yeah.
Jimmy G. Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston?
Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe hopefully tonight will be the emphatic that we need so we can stop having this conversation. Andy Dalton or Justin Fields? Another interesting one where Justin Fields looked all but assured after preseason game 1. You've been like, absolutely, that guy's way better. If he doesn't start like game 1, I think he will very soon afterwards. Justin Fields, a bit of a comeback to reality game. 9 of 19 for 80 yards, 2 sacks, 4 carries for 46. But you had to know, Jake, I mean, you just got to be careful tempting the football gods. And when you get up there like Justin Fields did after his first preseason game and say, honestly, it felt really slow out there or look kind of slow. I mean, dude, you knew it was coming. It's not a big deal. I don't want to make a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's preseason. It is going to be slower than regular season.
Can I say, though, and this is going to sound crazy, I've said it many times, the jump from high school to the SEC was greater than the jump from the SEC to the NFL.
I agree. I completely agree.
So I know what he was trying to say. He played the SEC and the Big Ten. It wasn't overwhelming is what he's saying. Yes, there's going to be things, and you're not getting the best. Like, you're not getting any type of pressures or coverage disguises. I mean, they're lining up and playing cover 2. Like, we were shocked. Remember week 1? I think it was Flynn and I that were actually talking about it. And Baltimore ran like a cross dog, double A-gap blitz from the linebackers, and we were like, oh? Like, that's a basic blitz in the regular season, but, like, exotic blitz in the preseason.
What are we doing?
So,
no, look, I get what he's saying too, but it's just a moment of honesty that.
Right. Yeah, I get it. Andy Dalton, by the way, is going to be a starter.
Other NFLs, week 1, Dalton will be the starter for sure.
QB1 when he got there. So
this one's maybe a bit more interesting, though. I think they'll play conservative as well. Cam Newton or Mac Jones? Cam had a huge bounce back game last week. Mac Jones had a second pretty solid game in a row. Belichick doesn't I don't know. Do you think he's like fully objective here? Like, is he if he just think Mac is better, that Mac will start right away, or do they kind of bring him along a little bit? If you think, I wonder who gives him the best chance to win.
Cam's going to get the opportunity to succeed or fail. He'll be the first one out there, and if he's playing well, that's a perfect situation for them, right? Doesn't have a big contract, and he can just be that bridge quarterback for Mac Jones. And if he's not playing well, then you put Mac Jones in. So Cam's going to start the season, and Cam still is very interesting, like with the all season, and now that he's known he's going to be a Patriot, and him and Josh McDaniels have a good relationship. Reports, come out that, they're really on the same page, all that type of stuff. It's going to be Cam.
Does this do anything for you?
Nope.
Tua Tagovailoa, stat line? 16 to 23, 183 and a tud.
It's encouraging.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure, because it has not been that situation before. It's a good team. It's a really good team. That roster is is filled with talent. They don't even need him to be a world beater. They just need to be him to be efficient.
And then, bro, I know we touched on him earlier and Meyer during weekend winners, but how about Zach Wilson, dude? That's 2 good games in a row. Wilson going 9 of 11, 128, 2 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks, a 154 rating. Is Zach Wilson going to actually be good? His beautiful little cherubic face. I was telling you I went
cherubic?
Yeah, like a little baby angel.
Okay.
I went to Noma this weekend, and when I was in like the kind of very religious like Renaissance era, I just kept seeing little Zach Wilsons flying around all over the place in both sculpture and picture form. And I mean, how funny will it be if that is the man, this beautiful little baby face who ends up leading the Jets out of despair? He does look kind of cool with the headband, though. I do like the Jim McMahon shout out rocking the headband.
Oh, I love Jim McMahon.
Yeah.
My father-in-law played a year with him in the Bears. Great stories.
The greatest sports irony in the world is that Jim McMahon went to BYU.
Without question.
It makes no
Without
sense.
question.
You've
got to YouTube the video of him playing golf when he had to use the restroom and there wasn't one close. I'll put it that way.
It's a good tease.
Yeah.
You okay to do on work Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's just like a little podcast. You're good.
When we get back.
Don't be scared.
Wow, that's crazy. Moment of the day. And we still got Ask the Bench coming up as well. Keep it locked right here.
Crazy.
OTB.
OTB. OT.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. MVG, that's the minivan gang, murdered out mini. You already know the all-black exterior, interior 2020 Toyota Sienna. Check out the 2021, though. It's even better. Pains me to say that, but it's true. And then all the new 2021s. And look, no matter what, you want a hybrid, they got you. You want a sedan like me and the Camry, which I absolutely love, they got you. You want a smaller truck, Tacoma, they got you. You want the big boy, the Tundra, they got it too. The point is they have it all over that also. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Obviously, right now is a great time to trade in your vehicle. Prices are going to be really, really good, right? When you trade in, you're going to get a lot for that trade in. But when you trade it in, know that you got to get something new, right? And they've got the selection like T-Bob mentioned. It doesn't really matter what you're looking for. They've got it over there. So go over there today, trade in your vehicle, get something new. Get that 2021 Sienna to make T-Bob jealous. allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Join us for a Monday edition of Early Line as we recap the Saints' second preseason game against the Jaguars, discuss LSU's latest scrimmage inside of Tiger Stadium, and recap the rest of our picks from the NFL preseason. Tune in 2 to 3 p.m., 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Danny Murray, you're going to argue again about whether or not we should have Miami vibes during Ask the Bench or New Orleans vibes during Ask the Bench?
Yes, we need some New Orleans flavor in that segment. Too much Miami flavor. Demasiado Miami flavor, Danny.
Demasiado. Too much.
Do we have any other cities that are up for it? I mean, do we get to nominate?
The only reason I like Miami is because of the colors.
I agree.
The colors are
I agree.
You can't beat them. There's the best colors.
The colors are fantastic. I agree with you. The Miami Vice color palette
is wonderful.
Is undeniably
That said, I do kind of agree with Mario that, a little New Orleans flair and Ask the Bench, maybe the play there.
Okay, well, that's 2-1. Am I like a swing vote here?
Potentially, yeah. You could either tie it up or you could push it.
Okay. Let me think about that. A little marination.
Oh, man.
How's this sound for a wow, that's crazy stat of the day? So, again, this comes from our guy, Peter King. And this is nothing that it's weird because it's nothing that you don't know. You know this, but a lot of times great writers and great thinkers can frame things in a way to kind of make you think like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. Is King talking to Tom Brady? He said, in 2009, Brady told me in an interview he wanted to play till he was 41. In 2017, he raised that to his mid-40s. Now, I'll be mildly surprised if he doesn't play beyond 45, beyond the 2022 season. And this is where you really need to start paying attention. Last year, in his age, 43 year, he didn't get in a huddle with his new offense, literally did not get in a huddle with his new offense till 1 month before the season opener and proceeded to throw for more touchdowns than Pat Mahomes, more yards than Aaron Rodgers, and the Bucs won the Super Bowl by 22 points. Read that again. At 43 years old, did not get under center with his new team. Till 1 month before the season started, threw for more TDs than Pat Mahomes, more yards than Aaron Rodgers, and won the Super Bowl at 22. Wayne Gretzky was in decline at 35, out of hockey at 39. Michael Jordan was 34 in his last great year. Peyton Manning retired at 40. This dude did that at 43. Wow.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's for real crazy.
I thought we were going.
Oh, I should have. My bad. Yeah. But wow, that's crazy.
Here's the deal. Okay, this guy does things a little bit different as far as his workout routine, what he puts into his body.
TB12.
It's just different. It is. Like, everything that he does in life is, how's it going to affect my football career? Some guys have that, some guys don't. And in fact, I would say most don't. I mean, to be as great as he is, to be considered the GOAT, to have all these rings, but still not to change the way you do things. In fact, you're doing them even more so to try to stay
relevant. Or like changing, like evolving, like not being stagnant, but like continuing to push the levels of involvement. He's like one of those African animals that's running right out of the womb. He adapted to that standpoint.
He's got a new lease on life as well. He's out of the Patriots.
He's so happy.
He is so happy, so charismatic. He's a different person. He's got a smile on his face at all times.
Yeah.
He's a king on social media now.
So
he's out of the Patriots no fun zone.
To your point, King actually talks about that in his article because he spent a couple days in Tampa at training camp, and he was like, man, Brady has achieved the kind of late career equilibrium or late career satisfaction that only all of us can hope to see one day, where his son's the ball boy, his dad's out there, his dad's playing catch with him, playing catch with his grandson, Brady's son. It's just like and he's winning, and he's on a team that returns everybody, and everybody's fully bought in. You had multiple guys take less money to return and stay a part of that team. It's just like Tom Brady has it's like the wheel of time. We always talk about his Taverin is so strong. He has literally molded his reality around him to be. He has willed it into existence to be exactly what. And think about that again. He did not get with the Bucs till a month before the season started. 1 month last year. And then he throws at 43, throws for more touchdowns than Pat Mahomes, who we think is like maybe going to be the greatest thing to ever play football. And then more yards than Aaron Rodgers, who was just unanimous tier 1 quarterback MVP and all that. And then went to Super Bowl by 22. That doesn't make any sense. It defies any form of logic that we understand, like in trying to use history to predict the future. He has completely defied it.
And his skill set isn't one that just declines with age. Like, think about it. He didn't have the greatest arm, right?
No.
He doesn't have, obviously, the fastest
a surprisingly
feet.
good one, though. But
he does have a good arm, but it's not what he relies on.
No.
He relies on his pregame preparation, knowing what
Timing.
you're going to do. Exactly. Their chemistry with his receivers. Like, you think it's just by chance that they could have all those receivers that you didn't know who they were before they got to New England be Pro Bowlers and all pros?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because Tom Brady. Now, they did their work, and I'm not taking away from anything that Danny Amendola and Edelman and Welker and Deion Branch, any of those guys did. But we didn't know who a lot of those guys were before they got with Tom Brady. Randy Moss was left for dead before he got back. Like, Randy Moss was just the guy in Minnesota. Don't get me wrong, but then he goes to Oakland.
He pulled a who were we just talking about? Eric Bledsoe. He pulled a major Eric Bledsoe where he did not get.
And everybody just thought he was done.
Yeah, he did not.
He comes and sets records with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like, this guy makes everyone around him better.
Pompey, Caesar,
so
Augustus.
There's some guys like John Elway and Dan Marino. They're known for their arms. They have big arms. And at some point, that arm's going to go away, right? It's going to diminish a little bit each and every year. All right. Our guys, like Randall Cunningham, he had the feet and the arm. Well, sooner or later, all that stuff's going to kind of go.
God, Randall was so good that 1 year with Randy Moss and Chris Carter, dude. When the Falcons beat him to go to the Super Bowl, that was awesome.
But with his skill set, which is he just does the little things extremely well, and it's attention to detail. It's the chemistry with your receiver.
Yeah.
That's what made Peyton so good. Peyton's chemistry with his receivers was just next level. He knew what they were going to do. They knew what he wanted them to do. Now, Peyton, because of his neck injuries and the injuries he went through, he wasn't able to. But Brady has, for the most part, stayed healthy.
Yeah, even Peyton fell off at the end. Not mentally, but even like physically, you could really see it.
He had neck surgeries. Yeah. He had the injury that kept him out all that season. Outside of the ACL that Brady had in 2008, he used to stay pretty healthy. So, wow, that's crazy. But when you start to peel back the layers, it makes a lot of sense.
Wow, that's great. It's just the perspective. I just forgot that his stats are that good. I forgot that he didn't get there till like a month before the season. Which also now the rhythm of the Bucs season makes a lot more sense. The kind of early on struggles to then rounding the corner and just completely taking off later in the year. Danny, do the Saints manage to beat the Bucs at least once this year?
Absolutely. 100%.
100?
Book it.
I think they'll beat them once.
I feel like we need some sort
Is
of
Sean Payton still the head
here.
coach? Like, he's owned the Bucs.
Jake, what do you think? Danny and Mario saying 100% the Saints will take one off the Bucs this year.
No.
Hundo.
No. I'll take that bet. And I hope I pay it. I hope that's one that I
think
pay.
I would take two, and I hope I paid as well. Maybe we'll go a little 2v2 here.
Because they did dominate them twice last year. You are completely right. Now, this is a different Saints team. It's a different Saints team than it was a year ago. Tampa Bay has everyone back, and we assume that chemistry is going to only get better from what they have. Like, their roster in their mind was so good that they spent their second-round pick on Kyle Trask, another quarterback. right? They could have gone somewhere else. They could have gone another weapon, but they felt so good about where they were. They wanted to start building for the future. And, after Brady.
Why is my chair shrinking?
I don't know.
Shorter than you.
Yeah, you are.
I don't like this at all. We're going to break. We're going to figure out this chair thing here, bud.
Okay. All right, bud.
And then we're going to get a little Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light. So we'll see you on the other side.
OTB, OT.
Go to centralplumbing.org. Do they do chairs? No, they do plumbing, you idiot. It's right there in the name, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Any plumbing needs that you have, Central Plumbing, they got you, man. Okay? You call them. You don't lift a finger. Your plumbing issues are solved. They've been at it for over 40 years. Again. So you're not going to be able to hit them with any problem. They haven't already fixed. So whether you got like an old house with great character, that's awesome, but you can go a little wonky. Or you got a new place. It doesn't break down. That sucks, but they also understand the latest technology as well. The one-stop plumbing shop, centralplumbing.org.
You could have a situation like T-Bob's had many a times, as he tells you about, or you could have a situation where you're looking for something new. And by new, I mean a bathroom remodel at your home or business. They can come out and they can give you a plan. Say, hey, here's where you need to put everything to set up for success. Here's what we have. Right? A new toilet, a new vanity, whatever it might be. They can come out and they can give you that. Don't forget about the tankless water heater, 225-925-8552 to contact them today.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, middle relief, and after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have, and Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou...
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR. Presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap LSU's second scrimmage, and it's game day. Monday Night Football. We're previewing Saints, Jags. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, welcome back into OTB. Real quick, T-Bob, before we get to Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light. I've got a promotion going on for my foundation, my family's foundation, the Hester Sports Foundation. Check it out on Twitter at Hester Sports. We are having a raffle, and the raffle is for a Tyrann Mathieu framed LSU autographed jersey.
Okay.
It is $5 per entry. There is no limit on the entries that you can have. You can do it through PayPal or Venmo. The more entries you have, obviously, the bigger chance you have to win. We'll have that drawing next week. The deadline is August the 31st at 7:30 p.m., right? One entry could win you the jersey, but if you had a lot of entries, you got a bigger chance to win the framed Honey Badger jersey. So go check that out. At Hester Sports on Twitter is where you can find all of our raffles and auctions and all the fundraisers that we have for Hester Sports Foundation. Trying to buy youth football equipment for some people that can't just go out and purchase it. Shoulder pads, helmets, gloves, that type of thing. So go check that out. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate that. Look, nice little framed Tyrann Mathieu jersey on there.
Yeah, that looks excellent. So go check that out.
We need to get a T-Bob jersey.
Where can they check it out again?
At Hester Sports on Twitter. And let me check out Instagram handle because I don't know off the top of my head.
Did Danny just laugh?
He did laugh. T-Bob jersey. Hester Sports Foundation on Instagram is where you can find that. Hester Sports on Twitter. Hester Sports Foundation on Instagram.
Danny, I will break
a T-Bob 53 jersey is coming very soon.
T-Bob, if you give me a 53 jersey, I'll wear it like every show.
I will beat your swole ass, Danny. Okay, you gotta understand this. No, you actually probably don't want to wear it because whatever. Actual game jerseys are so ill-fitting and awkward, and they look so horrible. They look like
I'll frame it.
You're like a woman with like puffy shoulders. I have framed jerseys. I just have nowhere to put them up yet. Unfortunately. This comes from my friend Jesse the Jetpack Don. Hashtag, oh, by the way, Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Busy, Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moonlight Sky Citrus Sweet. We drank that Coors Light that's been in the studio at room temperature for like months the other day, so we need to get one back.
Oh, we did. Oh, oof.
That banana thing wasn't bad going down. It sit a little weird on the stomach.
It did sit.
It
you
didn't feel
felt
great.
like an entire banana was in your stomach.
Yeah, it didn't feel great.
It almost like it formed back into the entire banana once you ate it.
I hear Jacob and Flynn are responsible for the first day of installing offense for the kindergarten flag football tires. Y'all ready? How many plays are you putting in? Are you planning on establishing the run?
I have to break some news to our head coach there. Not going to be at practice today. Just found out. I've got a film session that's going to be dropping later. So I'm leaving it all in the hands of Matthew Clayton Flynn.
Hey, how about you ask LSU to let us use their film? Let us do stuff with it, too. Brian Burgess, hashtag Ask the Bench. We're going to be broadcasting from Pasadena next week.
We are.
Friday.
Wait. God, that's wait. Oh, my God, that's next week?
Next week, Bo.
Next weekend.
And I'm only a day away from vacation.
Again, I thought we couldn't take vacation during football season.
That's not true. Hashtag Ask
very true.
the Bench.
Like I had to go around the world for a doctor's appointment.
Would you rather bet on the Little League World Series, preseason football, or the Paralympic Games?
I guess I would know the most about preseason football, maybe.
Mario, what are you right now in the preseason?
6-1, 3-0 this weekend. So you know what my answer is.
There you go, dude. Shout out. What do you got to do tonight to finish off the 4-0 weekend?
Come on, Saints, -4.
Okay, Saints -4. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Did dinosaurs have feathers? I think so.
I think so, yeah.
They're just giant birds. Big, stupid birds.
You think dinosaurs are birds?
They are absolutely birds.
Like a T-Rex is a bird?
Birds are look at like a chicken and look at a T-Rex. Yeah. Like a raptor and a chicken. Birds are, and this is not my opinion.
It's not a reptile?
It's scientifically proven, I think, that dinosaurs evolved into birds, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We're probably
pterodactyl, yeah.
Okay, look, we are certainly getting a lot of things wrong here, but
part of the same family.
Yeah, like ostrich,
really?
Right?
Look, I'm not arguing it.
Think about like an ostrich or an emu. Big time raptor vibes.
But like an alligator or crocodile has big time dinosaur vibes too.
Dinosaur, yes, but look at like the actual like biomechanics of how they're moving, like how a raptor runs and how like an ostrich runs.
Yeah. but there's different species of dinosaurs that we could more relate to. Not here nor there. Next question.
Just Google "Are dinosaurs birds?"
I can't. My computer's dead. So is yours. That's why you're taking yours off the phone.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. If LSU did a color rush game, what color would you want them to use? I mean, the all whites with like the burnished gold looks sick. It's very like White Ranger from Power Rangers I'm into, but like, drop him and let's just go full perps.
Full perps?
Full perps. Head to toe.
I don't know, man.
Perp
I tell you
helmet,
what.
perp jersey, perp pants,
That would look
perp
terrible.
socks,
Dude,
perp cleats,
Rondell
perpies on perpies, baby.
Dude, Rondell Mealy back in those gold jerseys back in the Independence Bowl, they look pretty sweet, bro.
Full perps.
They look pretty good in that one.
All purple. I'd say go all black.
I said go gold.
Danny, all black. I love all black, but that's so boring. The Saints already do all black as well. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. Black's not even.
If
black's
not in your color scheme,
I don't
like it.
I agree, it's the best color, but it can't be your color rush game.
All gold. I saw it at the scrimmage. There's a lot of gold jerseys out there. All gold. Gold helmet, gold jersey, gold pants.
I mean, that's really just yellow. At that point, you're just Big Bird. I'd rather
Big
be
Bird's
Grimace.
tight?
It's either going to be Big Bird or Grimace. Like, I don't know. I think I would go Grimace.
These young cats don't know who Grimace is.
Big Fave used to look like Grimace back in the day, I thought.
Big as a gorilla.
Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
OTB. OT.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. I don't care if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever the case may be. Rejuve me, they understand the aging process, okay? So they understand all of these different benchmarks, kind of where you should be, where your body could be. And so if you want to get back that youthful feeling that you have, that energy rolling out of bed, the energy rolling into bed, just a kind of confidence, better overall disposition, all of these goals are accomplishable with Rejuve Me. Go to RejuveMeMedical.com today.
So many different things that they can treat. You might have something going on and you just can't explain it. We always talk about weight gain. Like, we've all been there. You're doing the same things. You're doing the same workouts, eating the same foods. But for whatever reason, you either can't lose weight or you're actually gaining weight. Well, they can figure out exactly what's going on with you, but you won't know unless you schedule that consultation. It's incredibly easy. RejuveMeMedical.com, right there on the homepage. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Introducing Vizzy Lemonade, the only lemonade